last time. I don't want to say live on the internet because it's
Just
stealing
say
the
we're
phrase. We're live.
We're live,
then.
baby.
Yeah, we're live, baby.
Thank you, Daniel.
Live
Hello.
on the interwebs.
We should be live, baby. I don't know actually though. I should
We'll
probably
figure it
check
out
it.
eventually. Hello,
We'll
future
figure out
selves and
better
internet
when we
wanderers.
do this.
Welcome to our little D&D game. You know, it's a good day. You guys killed a dragon last time. And now we're here. Before we begin, because I forgot my entire intro as per usual, thanks to the music people. You can find their music stuff down in the description below. I don't feel like saying their names. It's been a long day.
Nakamura.
Ian, Grim, Alexander Nakarada, and the Fighter brothers.
You know, we should just tell them all of the information and have them memorize it, and then we don't have to do it.
Oh, okay. So we're not doing spot. So
what we could do is we could have like a
Oh no,
pre-recorded
I was saying
like
our
intro.
players. Like, give our
No.
players the responsibility, so we don't have to worry about it.
Oh
You
come
can
on.
Remember a name.
Zalek? Zalek usually does it anyway, so the issue is Zalek's not here.
That's true. Sal's
then
not
we-
here.
who
And that
accused
means-
Alice not here? Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Hi, I'm Hannah. This is my. I'm the co-DM. This is Alex, the other co-DM. Here are our friends. We're joined by almost all of them. Almost all. Poor
All of them
Zalek
will
is
be
fine.
soon.
We have friends. Totally.
All of my friends, which constitutes of 7 people.
You're doing
Sure.
better than some, you know. You gotta remind yourself of that.
Yeah.
Just
You
some.
think of what you got.
Everybody say
But-
Follow me with one
Hi,
Hi,
Gabby. She's also one of our
Gabby.
friends.
She's also one of our friends. She doesn't play D&D.
That makes 8.
At
Anyway,
least 8 friends.
Daniel,
Yo.
do you have any sponsors for tonight?
Tonight we are sponsored by another music person, Shoji Meguro. He has a bunch of products for sale, so check out like everything that Atlas has made that he composed for. So check it out.
Okay. Interesting. Jess, do you got any sponsors?
Yeah, you know, is it Calio? Is that how it's pronounced? The Icelandic rock band dropped their new album this week. Pretty good.
Nice.
I just feel so blindsided by that. Like, that came out of
Is it in
nowhere.
Icelandic?
No, it's not. They're just like an Icelandic rock band.
So they're just a rock band from
From
Iceland.
Iceland.
Okay.
A bit more.
You know, what song you might know? Way Down We Go.
Oh yeah,
No.
yeah.
Yeah,
I recognize it.
yeah.
Okay.
You asked.
Ryan, do you have any sponsors?
Not really.
Okay. Connor?
Yeah, sure. Trident white gum. Hell of
Okay.
a good gum.
Good choice. Any flavors you recommend, or just mint?
Just the white one.
Spearmint.
White
I-
flavor.
I like spearmint. I can't do peppermint for some reason. Whenever I have peppermint gum, it makes my stomach hurt.
Same. Peppermint makes me very nauseous.
Is Trident one of the ones that uses sorbitol?
That's typically the opposite.
Yeah,
is
that's
that- no,
really
that's-
weird.
Is it the Ice Cube one? One of them uses
This
like
does have sorbitol in it.
I hate sorbitol. It actually makes me nauseous. It actually
Nice.
also can cause other issues, but
Now that we know what
don't
makes everyone
don't touch
nauseous,
sorbitol.
Evan, do you have any sponsors for tonight?
Yeah, tonight's episode is sponsored by Raytheon Defense Corp.
Hey?
Okay.
All of your dragon slaying needs.
That's pretty
Love
good.
it. Love it. Yeah.
Okay, and
God
Alex,
forbid we
Um,
ever actually get a sponsor.
I'm actually, like, I'm not sponsored, but I decided to just shout out these scissors that I've got.
oh my god.
We mentioned this earlier. My scissors
Stop
have just
using
become
fidget spinner.
a fiddling toy of just like opening them, closing them, just holding them in
Don't-
different
kids-
positions,
kids, don't
looking
do
to
that.
stab
Kids.
people with them. Don't stab people with
I-
scissors.
This is
No, pretending to stab people. That's what I said.
this is a gateway drug. He's gonna be going to like a butterfly knife next.
Yeah.
Those are illegal in a lot of places, I
That's the
think.
next progression.
The other,
Yeah, well, not America.
the other thing that I did
Well,
want
that's the
to shout out as well was Rethink Theatrical. This is an actual relative, like a more serious sponsor.
Serious?
They're not actually
Nothing
sponsoring
serious here.
us. I'm just shouting them out. Because I auditioned for one of their new upcoming thing of Rethink on Air, which are like cool original radio plays. The radio plays are very good. It's going to be held over 2 weekends, the first 2 weekends in June. They're going to be broadcasts on Facebook, I think, and on YouTube. I don't actually know.
Facebook.
Yeah, because they do a lot of Facebook stuff. That's their main
Like
platform.
Facebook Live? What's it called?
That's
Facebook
such a
Live.
boomer
Yeah, I
media.
know. Well, most of them are boomers. But
That's true. This is
yeah,
sad.
it's gonna be great. I don't know if I'm in it yet because we haven't been told yet, but I might be in it. I might not be. Either way, go watch them because they're cool.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, and,
And
sorry, you go. I think that's
I was
what
gonna
you-
say, and to round out our sponsors, we
Yeah.
have water, as per usual. Which I feel like I need to come up with a bit eventually, a song
Yeah.
for water.
No, no
I found
song.
out
You know
recently.
what? I actually know. I need to go find it. My elementary school, when I was in 4th grade, the 3rd graders did this play on the water cycle, and my one friend's younger brother did an entire rap about being a cloud and being a water droplet in a cloud,
A
and I want to
rap?
go find it,
Painful.
Oh my
and I'll
gosh,
do the rap for all of you guys.
that would be
But anyway, you
hilarious.
should get water. It's the most important element on this planet, universal solvent. It's
Mm.
great. Anyway,
Oh, water and element.
Yeah,
element,
water's not,
Molecule?
Oh my God. It's a molecule.
Molecule.
Shut the fuck up. It's still. I may have been wrong calling it an element, but it's a molecule for sure.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
no, I was questioning myself as to whether it was a molecule or not, or if there's another word for it.
Alex, what? You're both.
I guess it is an element.
What the hell?
What?
And moving on.
Are we both
Any-
wrong?
Water, earth, fire.
Anyway, is there anything else anybody would like to say before we begin? And I hear silence, just like in a Zoom class. So I will read the recap.
Hearing none.
In the words of our
Every professor ever on
every
Zoom.
professor except for our circuits professor, hearing none, I will move on. In our last session, felling metaphorical giants, the Wayfarers had made a deal with Abaddon Renata, the infamous leader of the insurrection group known as the Silence, and were finishing their business in the bardic city of Endair before they teleported to the Silence headquarters. Oh, that's the end of a sentence, guys. Sorry. Before they teleported to the Silence headquarters. Silvius, seeing this as an ideal opportunity to get back his prized weapon, the Fang of the Wild Mother, rallied the party into teleporting to the small town of Chester and making their way near the Horseshoe Bluffs, ready to engage the enraged dragon he gave the sword to. Calling the weapon back to his hand via his weapon bond, the party and Abaddon waited several hours before the infuriated dragon arrived and began to battle with you all. After a tough fight with several key plays and great lucky rolls, Castarian, the dragon, was slain by Thaya before she could make her escape. Recovering from the victory, the party began to dissect and loot the body of Castarian, learning some interesting information about her parentage and gaining quite a few dragon scales. After some time had passed, Abaddon used a sending stone to contact someone, and within a minute of his message, a very familiar red-headed half-elf stood before you all. She wears similar clothing to the last time you guys saw her. Beautifully intricate white leather armor with a crackling green-black cape, and her scimitar at her hip almost seems to hum. But you notice there's a few differences. There is a distinct lack of a giant conch shell at her waist, and instead it's replaced by a beautiful like black, white, and gold leather book that is very familiar to you all. She stands there looking kind of annoyed, a little bit like very serious, and she sees you all and nods at you all, looks toward Abaddon. Hello, you needed me? Are we leaving now for the headquarters? He kind of looks at you all. Are you all ready to go?
Yeah,
I'm ready.
I think so.
Yepers.
Yep.
She kind of, Cyrilla, like, gives a big sigh, and she looks at you all, stares a little bit longer at Jack, before turning around, and finding a flat-ish section of the ground, and takes out some chalk, and begins to draw runes on the ground.
I attempt to memorize this.
Okay. I'm going to say memorizing it while she's drawing it is going to be pretty difficult, because you don't know, like, the full context of it.
I take out my paint supplies and write it down as she's drawing it.
Okay. Make a
Kind of
Let's
fucking
do-
weird.
Arcana check. DC 17. Well, I'll tell you the DC, so that way you know. DC 17.
Let's go!
Mm.
Oh, big money.
Are you trying to do this stealthily?
No.
No?
Of course.
What a power move.
Abaddon, see you do this. You are following her movements, and you're very accurately doing this and like drawing these runes down. When she's almost finished with the runes, you are like right there with her. It is very detailed, very intricate, and a hand comes in, and pushes your paper down. And you see there's Abaddon there. He goes, I'm sorry, but I cannot let you know this. Teleportation circle.
Bit rude. Any particular reason why?
Privacy, secrecy. And he takes the book and he rips out the page and then hands it back to you.
Is the book Cerulean has the arc art?
Yes, it's the Dawning Tome.
So when he goes to Whitney and talks about privacy, I go, you don't seem to respect much of privacy of ours either, so why should we respect yours?
At that, Cyruleana, still kneeling on the ground, like, doing these things, she says, I was just as infuriated as you were when our things were stolen, but they were promised to you if you were to listen to the silence, and obviously you all are bad at following directions.
She's got us there.
Yeah. He does
What's
have
wrong
respect.
with you?
I particularly don't like liars, those who say that they will. You trust them, that they agree to do something, promise to do something, and yet turn your back and stab you when you're least expecting it. And you can see she's kind of angrily doing the runes, and she finishes the last thing, and as she does, she stands up, wipes her hands off, and the runes glow and disappear as a portal appears where they were, and she starts to usher you all through. And Abaddon is the first one to rush through.
Alright, here we go, I suppose.
Yeah, I go.
Yeah.
So it goes.
Let's go through it.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, you all go through these, through the teleportation circle. Maybe. I have a thing written down. Where is it? Where is it? I'm sorry. I thought I had the correct encounter, the correct description written down, I should say, and I don't. It is. Oh, here we go. Here it is. As you step through, you can feel your body twist inwards and yanked away as you disappear in this circular flash. When you open your eyes, you step through all the way, and there's a little bit of a dizzying sensation, but you but you feel okay. And you find yourself in a sparse but well decorated stone room. Beneath your feet is the sigil of teleportation that brought you here. And hung upon the walls are black banners with a symbol of a downward pointing sword with angelic wings emerging from the hilt. 2 guards dressed in heavy plate armor guard the only exit to the room, which is directly in front of you. And as you step through, at first it looked like they had their swords up, but when they saw Abaddon and Cyriliana step through, they lowered their swords and instead kind of stand to the side of the doorway. And Abaddon, as you all step through the portal and the portal closes, Abaddon says, "Yes, let's go. Let us go quickly." And he he tries to usher you guys very quickly out of this room.
Does Cell recognize the symbol, like the sword and the wings?
Make a history check, and
Sylvius
Ryan,
will
if you
also,
would
try and
okay.
discern that he knows this.
Nice.
Sylvius?
Yeah, give me a sec.
Oh my god, y'all a bunch of smart
Nice.
people.
Is that the same?
You would
Okay.
recognize this. You wouldn't. This is a symbol that you have seen used in multiple different contexts and by multiple different groups over the course of history. But you start to put together a little bit with that high of history horals. You assume that this is, at the very minimum, the symbol of the silence. And then you realize that symbol has been used by multiple groups over the course of history. The silence is not a new organization.
Huh.
What were these previous groups? Would I recall this?
Yeah, so you would know that they were like smaller rebellion groups. Some of them were like, you wouldn't know like the specifics don't really matter, but you would know that like they were used by rebellion groups, they were used by
Similar groups historically.
yeah, like yeah, like the rebellion groups is the best term I can come up with. Like anti-religious sentiment groups that believed in the power of mortality over the power of the deities, that mortals were in fact greater or could be greater if they put their minds to it than the deities, that the deities were like flawed, like groups like that, like very counterculture-esque kind of outlander groups is the best kind of like outcast groups, I should say. That's the better word.
Sylvius is gonna ask Abaddon. Abaddon, did you found the silence?
Yes, I have.
How old
I
does
did.
he look?
Make an insight check. It's very hard.
Okay.
He's an elf.
Can I also make an insight check to see if he's telling the truth?
Yeah, go for it.
You have no idea if he's telling the truth. I mean, he's a very, very difficult guy to read. Thaya, you pick up. He is not particularly young by elven standards. He definitely has like a few wrinkles on his face. He looks older. He just kind of has this air of like old, like maturity around him. He's probably a few centuries old at the very least.
Like over
Maybe
3 or
probably closer to middle age for an elf.
who
So
else
like
would do it?
400 or 500 maybe.
Okay.
Whitney, I know you were trying to memorize the sigil from earlier. Because you rolled so high before, you have another chance to memorize it without writing it down this time. Just to, I would say, based on like your Arcana check from before, if you would like, you can try to look and memorize the rest of the sigils on this teleportation circle right now.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, make a not an Arcana check. Make a straight intelligence check.
Boy.
Ooh, not awful.
You think you have them? You think you got them? He ushers you out of the room pretty fast. You
How-
think you have them?
You
You're
think
not
you have
sure.
the last one, yeah.
How many guards are in this room?
2.
Okay. Okay.
Great. That's true.
They usher you out of the room. Abaddon and Cyrelia are both there, kind of like Cyrelia is at the back of the pack and Abaddon's at the front. And he goes, would you want to see Guinevere's brother first, or would you want to meet separately and then go see him?
I
Option
think we'd want a tour of the
2?
area.
Yeah.
Okay. So he begins to lead you guys through the facility.
This obviously isn't the one that we were in Tulane.
No, this is much different.
Okay.
You
Yeah, I mean,
notice,
like we've only been in one room so far, so.
well,
Yeah,
you
I
walk
remember
out
too.
into the hallway, so it has that stone vibe, same as the Tutele one did. You walk out into the hallway. You can see there is it opens up into like this L-shaped corridor. There is a room directly to your right, which is you can hear from the sounds of it. It sounds like there's like fighting going on in there. Like there's some kind of like maybe training going on, and then there's a corridor that goes farther down to the left, which you can see splits off at like a T intersection. Abaddon starts essentially being a tour guide. He goes, yes, we have some of our training facilities right over here. And he goes opposite of the training, so he goes the other way. He turns left. And he leads you into this like little like square, like almost like a square kind of corridor is the best word I can describe. There's like a big pillar in the center, and the hallway is like a square around it. And he cuts the corner, so he goes to the right corridor. But he points to the corridor opposite of the one that you just came out of. He says that way is to the laboratories, which is where Alistair is currently. But
Is that Gwen's brother?
That's
that
Guinevere's
is
brother.
Gwen's brother.
Okay.
How many corridors are in this square-shaped section?
Okay, you can see there's the corridor that you came from, which is behind you. There's the corridor to the right, which is the one he's leading you down. There's a corridor opposite of the one that you came down, like behind the pillar, which is he said leads to the laboratories. And then there's also a staircase that leads upwards to the left that he doesn't speak about. But he continues down the hallway. Cyruliana's in the back, kind of watching you all.
As we move on, I want to slyly try and kind of create a map of so far what we've seen.
Okay, make a sleight of hand check.
Nope.
Wow, good rolls today.
You guys are on a roll.
Hey, I had a 19 to start off with, okay?
Would be inspiring you guys, but I feel like this is not the case.
No, it's not worth it. I have a backup plan if this doesn't.
Hold on, I gotta pull up people's
It's
stats
like
right
just
now.
going
Give me
to
a minute.
end that year and coming back.
No, it involves lying through my teeth. Because it's one of my best stats.
People will need to find a tree.
Oh my god.
Make some friends.
Abaddon continues on with the tour, just fine. Cyruliana comes up to you, Thaya, and goes, once again, that is a little rude, isn't it?
I get lost very easy. I never went to school. You know, I don't want to get lost in these calls and end up somewhere I'm supposed to and then get in more trouble. So this is like a where am I now?
You will not be alone in these hallways.
You never know, you know?
Who
She
are you
doesn't
people, and why
take
do
it.
you?
Away from you. She just makes that comment and then she goes back and she kind of just stares at you, Thaya.
Speaking of walking the hallways alone, do we see any other people
Yeah.
in these halls?
You can hear
Okay.
people at the very least. So like in the training room, you could hear people like sword fighting. Like you could hear the clash of metal and like grunts and stuff like that. You actually, as you're walking down this very long hallway that you turned onto, there is a few what looks like researchers. They're wearing like lab coats, safety.
Medieval lab coats.
They kind of like walk past you, but you're kind of those like large groups, so they kind of just like hug the wall a little bit as you guys go by. You guys end up in another little like square hallway. He's like these are just, he points to the two rooms on either side. One of them is down a very long hallway. The other one is like right there, and he's just like these are both storage rooms for various spell components. And other things. And he continues going.
Do you have like a place where we could, I don't know, it's been a rough hour or so?
Say wash up.
Yeah, I said wash up.
Yes, if you would like to take a shower, we have some baths, if you would like. And he actually begins to lead you down, a series of turns that I won't describe fully. But he leads you down this very long hallway. He points out there's another training room right there, which they seem to be doing more like hand combat. He points out a large room. There's a large area, like a residential area, where he's like, yes, these are where the bedrooms are. These are where some of the people sleep. And he leads you down a very, very long hallway and goes, yes, here are the baths. If you would like to wash up, I can have somebody come back in an hour or so. And make sure that you all, or I can have, even better, I'll have Cyrulean to stay with you all. And then when you want to come meet up, Cyrulean, just take them to the meeting room. She says, of course.
Did we pass the meeting room on the way out to the showers?
No.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I'll roll hit dice then, if we're gonna take a while in the shower.
Well, I'm gonna start doing my song of rest then.
Yeah, short rest, I presume.
I am going to approach Sal if he's not busy.
Alright, Sal's not doing anything.
Sorry. Were you gonna say something, Hannah, and then I'll finish my
I
statement?
was gonna say you all can take a short rest.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
roll hit dice.
Wait, what does Song of Rest do?
Roll
I assume you're just like humming a song while.
Oh yeah, you roll one extra d8 for your hit dice.
Oh, okay.
Do you get your health back on a short rest? I forget.
You have to roll
Yep.
hit dice.
Use your hit dice.
You hit dice.
You'll
correct.
automatically get it back. Alright, so I approach Sal and I go, when we were talking to Mingus, he gave me my pan flute back, which I don't know if you were there. I got it from like some bugbear. What is it? Twilight Forest? Is that what it's called? Yeah. But
Yeah.
he said something a little unsettling that like there's a weird magic like on the enchantment on still, and it really confuses him. And the fact that it confuses him confuses me. And you're the spellcaster that I know well. Do you have ability to like identify what's on this?
Certainly, I can identify it for you.
Okay, thank you. And I hand him the pan flute.
Alright, then we'll cast Identify.
Great. So, from what you learn that, I don't know if Thaya talked about what the pan flute does, but it seems that it's got a relatively good enchantment on it for
Oh.
what's it called? It requires attunement, and you can use it to cast. You can spend charges on it to cast Charm Person or Charm Monster, and the DC for those spells is 17. And Jess has the information for it. All of that information is fine, and that enchantment seems to be pretty normal. But one thing that you did notice a little bit ago is like since you've last seen Thaya, there's a weird magic attached to her, and that seems to be from some of the interactions you've had, being relatively close to the Twilight Forest, seems to be a bit fey in origin, and that there seems to be something on the pan flute that there seems to be another enchantment on it that seems very, very similar to the one that you noticed that Thaya had on her.
Okay, so like it's tied to a fae as well.
Is it like, is it the aura that's like radiating from attached, you know, being an aura?
Yes, it seems that the aura that is the enchantment on the pan flute seems to come from the same source as the aura. Like there's the base enchantment, and then there's something else that seems to be the same origin as the aura that's on Thaya, if that makes sense.
Interesting. Right.
Interesting.
Do you communicate all of that to Thaya?
Yep.
Okay. Thanks for your help. That's weird. I mean, because I haven't. It was, as far as I know, a regular pan flute when I grabbed it.
So you didn't get this from your
No,
fae person?
I don't know if Alex knows. In character, I say, if I remember right, we picked it up from some bugbears that attacked us while we were camping out in the Twilight Forest doing some work. And it just thought it'd be a neat trinket.
Yeah.
So, no.
Wonder if there's some sort of connection there.
Yeah, I'll try and ask Artagan. And I'll spend an hour meditating. So I'm trying to
Are you trying to contact Artagan?
yes.
Make a charisma check.
Yes.
Probably a death.
You get no response. No nothing. No feelings. No nothing.
Well, I know it worked last time to get his attention. Okay, I'm done.
At the end of your hour, hours of resting, Ceruleana, who's kind of just been like leaning against the wall, kind of just like vaguely watching you all, kind of like flipping through her spell book or like playing with her sword. She puts that stuff away, and she goes, "Are you all ready to go?"
I figure I'm ready. I have a couple quick questions for you guys, for DMs. How nice are the shower facilities? Does it look like? No, this is a serious question.
They're very, very nice showers.
Okay.
You
So, like-
notice as you walk through here, as you walk through the entire area, but especially like the shower area, this is much, much nicer than the Tudor headquarters. Like almost like it's like old. It has like kind of that like really like if you walk into an old home that's like very nicely renovated or very nicely like kept up, it has that kind of vibe to it. It has like this very traditional kind of decor and architecture, but it's very, very clean and very, very like functional and comfortable and very nice.
How high is the water pressure?
What the fuck are you asking?
It's got adjustable water pressure.
Oh, I
So
see.
water
Okay.
brackish.
Actually, while you do this, I'm going to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Probably a good idea.
To compare
Update
this
me on the water pressure. Okay.
to compare this to real world examples. So the headquarters in Tudele was probably close to like dorm showers, and this headquarters is probably like much nicer, like close to like a high class hotel.
Shit. Okay. All right. That's all I need.
I have one more question. Dan said, "Does this give off like elfish vibes?"
A little bit.
An architecture check, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, make a history check.
Ooh.
With the architecture,
Oh shit.
The
You
vibes
said-
there.
Like
Uh,
the artist elfish.
No, it's not. It's not the Ceresian, Ceresian.
Ceresian, yeah.
Parisian, yeah.
Ceresian. It's not of that style architecture. This is much different. This is actually closer to like it's like a mixture of with a nat 20. I don't know if I
I'm
know
just,
it.
okay. I might not know like specific location, but am I still in what country? The American Empire?
So this is closer to like Wood Elf style architecture. Like everything that you come across is very much like yes, it's made of stone. Yes, it's very grandiose, but there's elements of nature weaved into it. Like the archways come to that like that sharp elven point, but the core, the what's it called? The little
Crenellations?
I don't
Molding? Like the crown molding?
yeah, kind of like the molding is like nature themed. It's like twigs and like leaves and branches intertwined together, forming it together. It has this very odd mixture of like natural, like traditionally wood elf and something else, and you're not sure what that is.
When
I
you're
haven't ever
That's
seen it.
fun. Do I have any idea where wood elves tend to where in the Empire wood elves live?
There are two forests.
Okay.
There is the Wispen Thicket,
Okay.
and then there's the Twilight
That's kind of what I was
Forest.
gonna guess. Okay.
And there's probably also some like trees and stuff, like smaller groves and thickets. Near the there's no trees anywhere else but where I put trees on this map, guys.
Yeah.
The only
Cat?
here.
You guys hear my cat?
I can hear
Yeah.
the cat, yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to get an idea of where we were.
For some
location-wise.
reason, Thaya, when you were younger, you just swiped a random book because you were curious about stuff, and it happened to be about elven architecture, and you don't know why, but it was so captivating. You just kept reading it.
Yeah.
The only book I've ever read, Elvish Architecture.
Yes.
So,
Connor, did you have any questions?
no, I think I was gonna ask about the texture. So, nope.
Y'all are very invested in this architecture.
Because it's the only clue to tell us where we are.
Yes, you have not passed any windows.
Hmm.
We're underground.
I mean, you haven't passed
Perhaps.
any windows. It doesn't pass fire inspection if you don't have windows in living areas.
well, we're not in the living area, are we?
Are we in a
Yeah, you
weird
just passed the
communal
living
shower,
area.
there's-
And yeah, you did the communal showers.
The showers are it's like half communal, half private. So it's just like there's a communal area, but it's like a private bathroom.
Is it like Myers but nice?
It's like Myers, but where you have like the dorm, like the showers lined up in a row, but instead of just being a shower curtain, it's like full on rooms.
more like Penn State style.
Yeah, more like Penn State or UPenn.
Where you have like that chamber where you can put showers. and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so nice.
It's fancy. It's fancy. But at the end of your hour of taking a really nice shower and baths and just resting, Juliana goes, are you all ready to go?
Suppose
Yeah.
so.
I look to Gwen.
If I must.
This is her charge. Our player who's not here.
She nods. And so Roland will begin to lead you guys. Yeah, so she's not as nice on her version of the tour as Abaddon was. Abaddon kind of went into details about certain things. Like, Cyruleana does not give you time to look at things. She leads you through a very kind of convoluted winding of hallways, and she's like, this is the training area, over there is the armory, here's the med bed, there's more beds here and here and here. And you continue, you end up getting down to this very long hallway, and you enter a grand room. Let me pull up the little description. You enter this huge diamond-shaped room. 4 columns stand in the center, extending 100 feet up to the domed ceiling, where they branch out to this intricate backlit design reminiscent of stars through tree branches. You can see there are 3 other exits to the room at each of the points, the diamond points, and in each wall in between these, you see alcoves, each filled with a different statue. Benches line the walls of this room, as you can see guards posted at each exit, not seeming to mind the wanderers that continuously exit in and out of the room. And this is definitely the most populated room you've been in so far. There are people moving in and out. There are people passing the hallway. You could hear there are quite a few people in one of the rooms to the right. This is definitely the most populated area that you've been through. But Cyruleana does not give you much time to stare at this all, as she continues on toward the right. And she leads you to another little square hallway. To the left, you can see there's 2 large double doors which open up, and you can see there's kind of like a mess hall where there are quite a few people eating like lunch or breakfast or dinner. You're not quite sure. What time is it? Dinner. It's dinner.
Yeah, what is like afternoon when they open?
That's to the left in the square room.
Yes, that's to the left. So those 2 doors open to the left. There what appears to be like what looks like a cleaning closet in front of you, and then but she leads you to the right, where you enter this. The best way I can describe this is a war room. It is a little bit of a change of. It has maps of not only the American Empire that line the walls, but also the Kingdom of Ciaris, the Gaidorian Peninsula. The Nightmare Forest has its own map, as well as the Republic of Yao Ming.
Wyoming's to the bottom right, correct?
Yes,
Yes.
Yao Ming is to the bottom right. So it's down. Yeah, it's like down here.
Called us.
There is a large table in the center of the room, which appears to have been cleared of everything that was on it previously, and there is Abaddon, who appears to be going through paperwork and eating a meal. And you all enter. He says, "Oh, thank you. I hope your the baths were nice."
Quick question: are there any other exits to this room besides the one that we came in?
No, there's only one exit.
Are there any things on the map?
You can see there are like dots of like where cities are, except where Shakeen would be, where there's a little cross mark, little X where it should be.
So there's no like strategic markers or anything?
Or like base markers?
It does not look like there are any strategic markers. It looks like they may have been removed before you came in.
Smart.
Smart people, yeah.
Yeah, I would trust us.
But he gestures to the table and says, please take a seat. We have much to discuss. I feel a longer conversation is necessary so that we may air out our grievances and so that I may explain what has happened, especially with Alistair.
Right, well, Sylvius will sit down if there are any chairs.
Yes, there are chairs. There are there is one gnome-sized chair, actually.
How kind.
That's kind of insulting. We have 3 small people on her.
Well, it probably wasn't for us. It was probably for the lady and I.
Wait, there is a gnome-sized chair, which is a little bit smaller, and then there's also another small chair for halfling size. Halflings are a little bit taller than gnomes, so it's slightly different size. Those are the only 2 small chairs.
Well, it's a fight because we have 3 of them, so.
Fight, I guess.
Well, it's just
Sound
I'll
between
stay if I must.
what Guinevere and
Jack and
Jack and Sylvie.
The small one can
On the
just sit on the
same chair.
big one's lap.
I'll
Jack-
stand.
Jack
I won't
needs
see
to
anything.
sit on Ceruleana's lap.
Yeah.
get back in our good
Yeah.
places.
Cyruliana, as you go to approach Cyruliana, she takes a very large encyclopedia and drops it into your hands right in front of you. You like instinctively catch it, and it's heavy. And she says, "Use that to prop yourself up, please."
Get his booster seat.
Cold shoulder.
Ah.
Whitney, completely misreading the room. When asked to take a seat, would say, "I sure hope I would, but I don't have a bag of holding big enough." Am I right?
Ew.
Let's go.
Sal's just gonna like take one of the chairs, reverse it, sit
Oh,
like that,
Straddle it. Yeah,
and then be like, "If palaver's what you want to have, let's have it."
I want to sit so I can see both Ceruleana's face and Abaddon's face in the same point.
yes, Cyrulia actually sits like next to Abaddon. Actually,
Oh, okay. Then just across.
yeah.
Yeah.
Abaddon actually chuckles at your joke, Whitney. He says, "It's hard to find some simple humor around here. It's nice. I appreciate it."
Are you?
Anyway, I know you have many questions, and many things we must discuss. What would you like to talk about first?
I think we'll have to
This
discuss
is- yeah.
Alistair later.
I would say this is the. I would say Alistair first. Here.
She's not here.
So we can retcon that later.
Yeah, okay.
Suppose
So-
you give us some more information on this job you want us to do for you.
And about your sister's predicament, I guess too. That's what we promised to help.
Yeah, I mean, we want to help as much as we can, but hard to do that without a concrete goal.
Yes, and it's hard to trust people when they constantly stab you in the back, but you are all skilled, and I can respect that.
Yeah, right.
My sister was, like I said before, is currently being used as being used in prison with this primordial entity is the best word I can use to describe them. They are the embodiment of chaos. And sorry, I couldn't handle the music anymore. I was distracted. She gave her life, and I know where she did it. And I think that we must go back there and figure out a way to separate her soul from that prison.
No, you said that her soul is keeping back the primordial agent of chaos, you said? Now, is there a reason why she's there? Like, will that agent of chaos be released if we release her soul?
If we do it incorrectly, yes. But I believe there is a way to do it. And remove her soul and leave that entity locked away. It will require some other power supply is the best way. Some other kind of magic to lock away this entity. Something powerful. A trapped demon, maybe, or some kind of powerful fey being, or there are numerous magical entities that could possibly be used. It's just a matter of finding one and capturing it.
Do you think a god could help you?
The gods don't like me. Why would they help me? The gods don't want to try. They believe that the what's the word? The fear that this entity may be released is too large. The chance of it happening, they think, is not worth her life. And so they leave her there to suffer.
Do you know of like a being that could take its place? I mean, I have a couple of ideas.
Well, there's quite a few. They need to be powerful. My sister is a champion of the gods. She is one of the most powerful people. Was one of the most powerful people when she was alive on any plane of existence. We would need something equally as powerful.
Huh.
Demon Lord.
How about a fae of like one of the higher courts?
Those
There's-
are nasty individuals. I wouldn't really tangle with them if I were you.
We've already tangled with them.
Yes, but you clearly haven't tangled with them enough. You should hear half the horror stories I've seen.
I know.
March
I
makes it work.
someone would. I know someone who would love to help us out on that. I think.
Wait,
You're
hold
not
on.
thinking of your patron, are you?
I think I am.
Well, he'd have to take her place.
Before we start getting into this, Abaddon, what's your plan here? Why do you said she was one of the most powerful beings you know? What do you
Yes.
want from her? Because I know you're a man with plans. I doubt you just want her back because, you know, she's your sister. She would be a powerful asset to you.
He looks offended.
He looks genuinely hurt by that.
Make an insight check.
You guys know if we free her, she's gonna hate the gods, and like this seems like a real bad idea.
Yeah, you guys can still tell. Like,
been
I would say
pretty much-
even with the 11, you can tell he's very offended
Yeah, like
that you would
like,
insinuate that he wants to use his sister.
So yeah, he's genuinely offended by that thought. He goes, all I have wanted for the past 300 years is for my sister to be back.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna need some assurance that you won't use her against the American Empire.
I don't care about the American Empire. I don't care about the Kingdom of Sierras. I don't care about the Young Republic. I don't care about politics. I care about getting the people I love back. That's what I care about. When she comes back, she's free to do as she wishes. That is her right. But leaving her trapped there at the whims of a chaos deity.
Do you mind if I ask who exactly forced and trapped her into it?
She didn't. My sister knew that it was the only way. She knew that some entity, some life force would have to be put into the spell, to be put into the ritual, to trap the person, trap the entity. And she knew that, and we were constantly being barraged by their followers, by its cultists. And we didn't have time. We're already so tired, so exhausted, and we didn't have time to find an extraplanar entity, a demon, a devil to use as the component of the spell, and there was no time left. They had gained enough power, and she just did it herself.
I see.
Hmm.
I'm curious. Would this being that would take your place, would they have to be willing?
Not necessarily. If we can trap them in the correct way. If we brought a demon there just by itself, just as it is, yes, they would have to be willing to take the place of the person. But if we can trap their essence in a magical container, and he kind of nods a little bit towards Cyberiana, who kind of sits up and is kind of who whose face it's hard to read her face, but she kind of sits up a little bit when he gestures over toward her. If we can trap their essence, their magical essence, their soul, if you will, inside of an object, we can bring that object to the ritual site and use that.
Okay. Tell me more about this container. Do you have it, or do we need to procure it?
As I look up a thing.
Good question. Good question.
Good question.
Or are you trying to make it?
Give me a minute. Sorry, there's one thing that I'm looking for, and I just forget which one it is. Oh. It is a modified spell. We have been developing it for many years, and Cerulean kind of speaks up of that. Yes, I believe I have a bit more expertise in this area. We have the container is expensive. It's being made currently. We would have it soon. I am still. I am modifying spells that I have found to do this, and it is possible that it's not too far off. It's just it's difficult. I would have to be there when the essentially what would happen is we would find the whatever creature we wanted to capture their essence of. we would need to knock them out and then perform a ritual to gain to trap their soul inside of a cage, a jar, some kind of containment device. It's worth made of like silver and platinum.
Is it reusable, or is it a one-time use object?
It's for one-time use.
I see. How long have you been developing it?
Well, I've been developing the skills necessary to cast such magic for many years, but recently we have made a breakthrough. And we have made some other breakthroughs in the past few months. The cage must be. It must be specific to the kind of entity that we plan to capture. So, if we plan to capture some kind of powerful humanoid, it would have to be essentially a mimicry of them. Same thing with other types, so devils, demons, celestial. We just need the mimicry of the of them inside of a jar, a cage. Either way.
I see. So we need to select your target first, then you can manufacture the
Yes, like I said, the cage component of it, which is going to be. She kind of makes like a gesture into like a little like almost like a Grecian vase kind of looking thing. She's like the base component is going to be created. It is currently being made. It will be made very soon, within the next week or two. But we need to know what entities we plan on capturing before we can make the second component, which shouldn't take long afterwards.
I see.
So that sounds like decision number one.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Do we have a list of possible targets?
And their challenge rating.
Currently, Hannah does not. But I can make up shit. I have an idea. I have a few ideas.
I'll be right back.
Let's get the dragon up north, guys. Come on.
The white one?
Actually, you're not wrong.
The white one or Cindrus? Or Cydrus?
I have a bone to pick with the
The
queen
biggest
going to
one.
court.
No one knows where Cydrus is. The white dragon is up north, though.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Both of them are. So Sabriel and I will continue on. Some options that we have. We currently do not have anyone specific in mind, but entities that should be considered ancient dragons. Things such as demon lords, and devils, very high-ranking devils.
Hags?
Celestials, hags, if they are grandmother hags. Things such as some celestials, not like divas. And what's the other one? I promise I know all my monster types, guys.
Sounds fake.
What is it? Planetars. That's the other one. Planetar would probably be closer. And solars. Things very, very powerful. Archfey could also be considered. All of these options are very, very dangerous.
You guys can just see like Sal smiling and like giddy in his seat, like with the idea of killing demons.
We were leaning toward a demon lord, but we would need a way to find a way to their plane, and then we would need to figure out which one we wanted to do.
Do you
Capture.
guys have like a library here that we peruse and do our research?
This
Would
is
Sal know anything about this, or like would he know anyone that could help?
make a history
Serious?
check.
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Demons, fae, beings.
Yeah,
Do
like
I know of any magic items or technological devices that could transport you to another plane? That's in the American Empire or adjacent countries?
make
Two
a
Indian Empire.
history check.
History or Arcana, I would say.
Okay.
Happens to cast Awaken from your tree to the Feywild.
Okay. Okay.
Nice.
Add 4 to that. That's 26
Add 4.
because of my artificer lore. Gnome's
Right,
artificer lore.
right.
Give me a minute as I search for something. You would know. Oh yeah, that's right. There is. You would know of one item. You don't know if it'd be particularly. You don't think it'd be particularly useful, but it might. It's an amulet that if you name a location, that you are familiar with on another plane of existence, you can try to plane shift there. You would know that you would need to be able to get somewhere, you would need something that be able to plane shift. With that kind of history check, I would also let you know that probably Cyruliana could plane shift if she had the correct attunement item
Tuning forks.
and knew the spell. She could probably cast plane shift.
Go
So
on,
what about this
quest.
amulet? This amulet
The
just facilitates the use of plane shift?
Yeah, the amulet allows the use of plane shift, but you have to be familiar with the location on another plane of existence.
It supplements.
Do I know of
a-
anyone who possesses it, or just its existence?
You would know of its existence. You wouldn't know who specifically has it. This is a very, very rare magic item. Like, this is like not a common thing to have.
Okay.
Mavis could now.
As far as you know, it more or less supplements the. So in general, for like plane shift spells, you need, and you would know this too from your history check. You would need a tuning fork attuned to a particular plane of existence, and you need that to get to certain places. Basically, the Amulet of the Planes helps you channel your memories in place of that tuning fork.
Okay. So, Cyruliana, can you just shift through the planes? As is?
I could. I do not have the spell. I would need to find it to learn it. But I could. I have been looking into it, yes. But I do not currently have the materials. No.
Do you have the proper forks and whatnot?
No. We're not
Do you-
really big on plane shifting around here.
Do you know of someone who would have that material?
She kind of looks over toward Abaddon, who has his like hands steepled, and he's like thinking. There are ways that we can grant you access to that, Cyruliana. Kavishner should be ours soon. And
Real
besides, we can always go to
Diplomacy,
the
I assume.
Yeah. Diplomacy. We can make a trip to Kublai. And we can go to the libraries there. The school should still be floating. So we can always ask for the spell and its components there. She kind of just nods at that. She says, yes, so theoretically, yes. If as long as we know which plane we want to shift to, I will be able to do it as soon as I get the spell, which could be as soon as the next day. I can't do anything today. And I could go back, but there's also the note that we would have to finding extraplanar entities, demons, while nice is difficult for information. The fiends tend to be able to hide their information very well, very secretive, as most very powerful ancient entities are. It may be easier to find information on entities that are already here on the material plane. Though,
Yes, we can wait until I'm like a level 9 warlock. I can get planar binding. We can. It's fine.
Do you
But,
have any specific names? If you give me a name, I could help you. Give you some more information.
well, there are several ancient dragons that reside throughout the material plane. The most famous of which is Sidrus. But also there is that other guy that I forget the name of. Hold on, I'm opening my notes. There's lots of me going through notes today, guys.
Since you don't have a library here, would it be possible for you just to send us to like Tudele, who has a place for us to do some research, and we can find an entity that you need?
Yes, if we are going there, then if I'm going there, you all may come with me, if you wish, and we can return tomorrow or the next day, whenever it is most convenient to you.
Sounds about fair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, just because it's 8:56, and also I need to do some quick looks up my notes and stuff. There's a lot of notes I have to go look up
Yeah.
right now. We're gonna take a break here. We're gonna meet back up in like 10-15 minutes. Let's shoot for 9:06, 9:10 at the latest. And yeah, entertain yourselves as I
Yeah.
Nice
do
seeing
this.
you. Alright, I'll be back.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look for food.
For those of you who are here, what are you thinking? Demon, Fae, dragon,
You know that tree in the Feywild?
the big one? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Awaken on it. I'm gonna see what that does.
I want to talk to Abaddon about not Abaddon. Artagan.
Wait, no, I don't have Awaken anymore. This is sad.
It's fine. Like I said, we have to wait till I'm a level 9 world. Spells. You know, we can summon a demon, Fae, celestial, trap it, and then it's fine. I'm only 5 levels away.
So you want to do a favor for Artagan? Get rid of one of like the
I want to kill
one
2
of the
birds,
archfays.
1 stone.
Are you trying to
Oh,
trap
no.
Artagan into the
No.
thing?
No.
Alright.
That would be suicide. I feel like.
That would be very stupid. No, I think. I mean, what was it the Winter Court Queen? Kind of like
Yeah.
left us to die.
Yeah.
I got a bone to
Listen.
pick. I got a bone to pick with a Winter Court Queen. And what I'm saying, I think Artagan would maybe not directly help us, but he would not help us if we were clever about
Yeah.
how we did it.
I mean, it didn't really go that well last time, though. That's the only thing.
No, but we were also like level 6 then.
Yeah.
But, like, they're gonna keep getting stronger like we do.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just an idea.
I think we put a pin in this and we go do all the other side.
Oh, like every other game where you like,
Yeah, we gotta
It's too
grind,
easy.
boys.
yeah, it's too easy when you come back.
We just gotta level up. That would
We're
be like
close.
our.
We're probably, if we do actually some things here, we can level up probably at the
Well, we're not going to be able to
Session.
find anything to do right now to like finish a short-term goal, are we?
So,
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know what our short-term goal in this.
We
book
don't have a
is.
plan anymore. We've been like, we're like, oh, we're going to CRs and like fight the flawless ones.
That didn't happen.
And like, and then go like deal with Gwen's backstory and stuff. And now we're like here, wherever
Well, I
here
mean,
is.
this is with her backstory. It's just she's
It is.
not here. That's
Yeah. Well, I think it was shifted because she didn't expect the silence to have her brother. So now we're back with the silence, and none of us necessarily wanted to be here.
yeah.
So now we're just here, trying to make the best of a situation. And I'm not like opposed Abaddon's sister because I mean, she
I
did.
think the
but
only.
you go,
Sorry,
Ryan.
you go.
No, oh,
I was
it
going to
she-
say. I'm
You.
done.
You go first.
What are you doing?
Roll a d2.
Whoever gets the higher one goes.
No, like Jess is 1, and then Ryan's 2.
Oh, okay. Let me say.
Just
Well, I was gonna say like she did sign up for it. Like she was the last cause.
yeah.
It doesn't sound like she deserves to be there.
Yeah, okay, so this is one thing. I feel like if she was forced to do it, Sal would say no. Because if she's this like all powerful like
Mhm.
champion and we let her free and she's like she hates the gods and everything.
No, it
because she's
sounds like
forced
she
to-
did it because she's a good person and it was
Yeah.
the only option.
So that fact makes Sal think like, okay, maybe this won't be so bad.
We can trap a nasty evil spirit in there.
Unless we trap Abaddon in there.
That's what I was going to say. That's what our end goal should be. Because I
He's
don't
not
think
as
his sister is
powerful,
going
though.
to be alive.
He's
Yeah,
not
I think it's just
powerful
like her
enough.
soul gets freed.
Yeah, but is reincarnate? What is a Revivify portion?
The thing is, what I was thinking of, like, Cyruleana said that you have to be like skilled to use this object. But the thing is, Salstar has the knowledge of the ages, channel divinity, which makes it so you could learn any skill or tool that you want for 10
For, like,
minutes.
I would say for a given period of time.
Yeah. So like, I don't know if I would be able to do that.
I mean, we have research to do, I think. If really like our first stage is like, who are we going to capture? And
Yeah.
how do we get them, I guess, early on in the equipment to get us there?
Yeah.
Whether it be to like one of the demon, planes, the Fae planes.
No, I think staying on this material plane is probably our best bet. Just like,
So that leaves us with
I mean, if-
dragons for the most
if we have
part.
to fight an ancient dragon, we can just hire an army at this point. We have a lot of gold.
I have plans
Hire
for
some clerics.
I have plans for my money.
What are your plans for your money?
Gotta buy a house.
We already
Financial
did that.
stability. I will show you where, and financial stability is written on there twice.
Right here. We're gonna go side quest. We're gonna go to Whitney's hometown. We're gonna rob their bank, and that should give us more than enough gold to do whatever we want.
We become bank robbers. Yeah.
Wow. What do we need the money for?
Hiring
Everything.
an army.
Houses and armies
To kill an ancient dragon.
to kill an ancient.
Damn.
Well, if we kill the ancient dragon, then we get money back. Because it's gonna have a horde, a massive horde. Also, out of character and out of game, we are not powerful. I think enough. To beat ancient dragon.
No.
We will get killed.
Abaddon.
It's not
Especially
fucking happening.
Abaddon.
Especially in its lair, we will lose.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You don't actually
We-
need to kill the dragon. We just need it to kill Abaddon.
I don't think that just makes him a martyr, and then it's that issue. I'll be right back.
The madman.
Yeah,
I
we're
don't
gonna go.
disagree with you, but like, then it's like a martyr situation, and that doesn't.
Who's gonna take his place though?
Roliana.
Yeah?
We could kill her too.
Or Krill. Then again, they'd have more hit points than us, so chances are we'll go down first.
Yeah, I mean,
And if
Well,
anything,
you
they can
say
just
all the
dimension
way
door out.
Yeah, that was my plan for getting us out. Well, there's only 2 of them, so. No,
Be a
Give me
real
a
dick and
log.
counterspell the dimension doors.
I could. Like. Yeah, they're gonna counterspell that. Oh, no. No, doesn't Abaddon cast spell?
I'm sure he can if he really wanted to. I don't think he does though.
It's definitely something on his. Right, but no,
I
actually,
have a
though,
feeling that like Hannah and Alex will just give like Abaddon like every class's abilities. It's like, yeah, fuck it, he can rage.
he summons a
Abaddon is a barbarian.
He can cast spells. He's part rogue.
I think he's mostly rogue and he probably has like magical initiative.
I
Maybe.
think you're right. Too. He also could be the trickery. No, not trickery.
Arcane Trickster.
Arcane trickster. Yeah.
It's possible.
What's the arcane?
Or they could just like not base him off of any like class.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, anyway,
That'd be
here's what I think we should actually do. Let's go out and try to awaken that tree in the Feywild. We need a long rest first, but we should find some way to teleport to Lake Shiki.
We can go back to the Twilight Forest.
At worst case scenario, we end up lost in the Feywild, and then we can just find a minor arch.
The highest level a arcane trickster can cast is 4th, and I don't remember the last one.
Dimension Doors 4th level.
What was?
They'd have it. Dimension Doors 4th level.
No, I'm saying, but Abaddon. I don't remember what the highest spell level spell he's casted.
I don't think we've ever seen it cast a spell.
Yeah, I
That's
think
right.
it's just armor
Yeah.
and his knives.
He just says magic like things.
Mhm.
That's fair.
We need to get good magic things and chance.
Okay, so we need money.
Mhm.
This comes back to the money issue.
I
No,
think it's not.
we need to go dungeoning.
we
go
need to
dungeon.
side
Yeah,
questing.
We need some Wondrous items and some vestiges. That's the goal.
But we
Okay.
fight them if we killed an ancient dragon.
Your AC right now is 16. It is not nice.
Yours is?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm bad. I can only wear light armor.
That's fine for a bard.
So can
You're not
I.
in line of combat.
Mine's 18. Can I have
Mine's
that
also 18,
plus-
but I have shield.
I got +1 studded leather.
Knows what it is.
Also,
Yeah.
You cut out, Ryan.
but I said I wanted to really just see what would happen if I cast away on the big ass tree in the Twilight.
What is that? Can you ping that spell? What does it do?
I don't have it on me right now, but Hannah said I could change it once for long rest. But it turns a tree into like an ant for you, and it has to follow everything you do for 30 days.
Does it?
Yes.
Hold on. Awaken.
No intelligence or an intelligence 3 or less. Ooh, that might be, if it's a magic tree, it might actually be.
Might just be like super fucking smart. Who knows?
Yeah.
God, I don't think trees are very smart though in this game.
No,
I
but
think
it's
they're
not,
wise.
it's not a tree, I think. I think it's
Oh no! You touch a huge or smaller beast or plant. That tree is definitely bigger than
massive.
huge.
Yeah.
No.
Also, we would need an agate. Agate worth 1,000 gold
I would
pieces.
pay
Well, I
for
mean,
that.
like,
I'm gonna
that's just
buy
like-
one.
That's just gonna is what it is.
I forgot
But
about
like
this spell.
also, casting time 8 hours.
Yeah, I remember looking at the druid spell list, and I was like, Christ, what are you supposed to
I'm
do
gonna
with
do
this?
this at some point with a different tree, and if I feel
It was really fun.
on the thing.
Like,
that's
what
gonna be our
beast
tank.
would- What beast would even
Oh,
work for this?
So many, they're so.
To be such
Most,
a
most
dumb...
animals aren't intelligent, so
Yeah.
I get a no. They're probably the weird or Taurus.
beasts have a higher wisdom typically because
Mm-hmm.
book learning. So like beasts aren't gonna learn
Yeah, there
books.
are many smart things.
You'd have to capture it, though, because you guys had cast this for 8 hours.
Or like a tree, it's not moving. So
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Alright,
Oh
then,
wait, there's actually stat blocks for awakened tree and awakened shrub.
There's a lot. If you look at like, especially like druid things, because it's mostly used by druids, I think. I didn't realize it was a bard spell too.
Just seems like a very druidic spell.
It is a druid spell.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a ranger's, but I don't know if ranger levels go that high.
Wow, an awakened tree has a 19 for strength.
Yeah. What's its
Yeah.
That's why
What's its HP?
you just have to. It's
HP.
59.
Yeah, 59.
Oh, that's sad, but okay.
Well, that does suck.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. An awakened tree is a little bit weaker than a polar bear.
That feels like a fake piece of information.
Unreal. A polar bear could beat the shit out of an awakened tree.
Can you check with Doc, see if she's coming tonight?
Yeah, I'll text her. Shout.
Alright, so are we down to go to Tutor Life and do book research? It's been a while since we hit the libraries.
It's been a while since you hit the libraries. We have to wait for people to come back. But also, like, Guinevere's here, and, like, her brother's also here.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
well,
I think they'd want to do that.
she wanted to meet with them. Like, obviously, like, I'm saying we meet with them. But then when Zalek's back, we actually go for information. You know what I mean?
I mean, like, the thing is, like, depending on what like, Guinevere does, we might enter the Twilight Zone.
Okay. But like, I don't think we're gonna get him out of here, right? We're gonna have to earn some trust and respect.
I mean, look, they're not keeping you. They're not keeping here for scientific research. They're keeping here to like keep him safe. At least that's what they say.
Yeah, we could see if that's on the level.
Sure what's wrong with them. Not quite sure what they're doing.
What's going
Yeah.
on?
They were mind probing him.
Be a little fucked up if they were.
They're mind probing him. I think they said they were.
Be like the happy fun ball
Yeah.
in his head.
They just put it in the happy.
It's a. You were talking about wanting a dungeon, but it's a dungeon crawl through Alex or Gwen's brother's head.
Yeah,
And it's
no
all fake.
loot
It
though.
doesn't actually
No
exist.
fucking loot.
Exactly. It's the worst kind of
Uh-huh.
dungeon crawl because it doesn't exist.
We're literally just playing around in VR.
There's no loot. There's only RP at the end.
There's only pain.
Really pain.
I think we've just given them the worst idea.
There's
No,
only
no, we-
emotional stress. Do you think we haven't already played the go?
Yeah.
You already have a dungeon crawl through Alistair's? Is that his name?
Yeah. We're gonna dungeon crawl through Alistair's brain for 3 months, and
Yeah.
then the treasure that we get is the friends we made along the way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
I
it.
mean-
That's what we get.
No, 2 of us are gonna die. The treasure's the first.
If it's
one
any
lost.
consolation, you'll probably also get experience.
Actually, worth it.
Yeah, you think?
To discuss. I want to modify the experience system a little bit more so you guys aren't getting experience quite as fast. 'Cause I feel like you guys are leveling up like fucking.
No, I feel like they're
Fact.
good
Yeah.
because like we've also been giving them a good amount of combat encounters per
We're trying to kill an
like
ancient
set,
dragon
and
right
we
now.
also
We
like
kinda need to
make them
level up.
difficult.
Yeah.
We're not going
Yeah,
easy on them.
We need to.
There's shit you have to do in between there. Do you guys want to do your backstory shit or not? Really, you got a whole boatload of problems we got to deal with.
It's
My
true.
problems are miles away.
Man, I just
Oh
wanna-
yeah,
He has no
Sorry.
idea who the silence is. He doesn't care what's going on. He just wants to buy in the gate.
sure they're miles away.
I just want to go to the Kingdom of Ciaras. The things there, you
That
know?
sounds like fun.
Yeah, it sounds like fun.
So here we are. Maybe in the Kingdom of Ciaras, maybe not.
You could go.
I have a question. What kind of elf is Dane?
A high elf, right?
Hi, Alf,
Yeah,
yeah.
Dean's a high elf.
He's a high elf. Sylvia's family are high elf.
I think you mean.
Your whole family are high elves.
Yeah.
Your dad's a high elf. Dane is a high elf.
Yeah, I didn't really write much about my mom.
Your mom is a half elf.
She's dead. It's fine.
She's also dead. She doesn't matter as much.
Damn.
Couldn't matter.
Or at least you think she's dead.
Feels bad.
Don't say
Supposedly.
things like that. Stop it.
Well,
I mean,
you
she
see,
could be
where
alive if your
Yeah.
dad survived.
That's true. We're all alive. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't she be alive? It makes sense.
The family does have a history of affairs.
what if it was a whole thing because you because so you were out of your house and then you looked back and the house was on fire, and your dad was out of the house and looked back and the house was on fire. What if that same exact thing happened to your mom and all three of you assumed the other two were dead?
The biggest plot. Like,
The biggest plot twist: all of you are alive. Connor.
Okay, yeah. I just talked with Alex. She said she's got a lot of work to do and she'll be back until like the last 15 minutes or so of the session.
alright. So maybe we just we retcon what happens with her brother.
We know what we can say is that she stayed with her brother, and you all head to Chipotle, and hopefully y'all will come back.
Okay.
See you later, Zalek.
Yeah.
Bye bye, Renvir. Have fun.
Or maybe we always catch that like
Yeah.
once she comes back, like she can catch us in Toodle-Lay.
Yeah, she can just like come back. She'll come back.
I mean, like, if we go to Tutelite, we're like the farthest away from any of our secondary objectives, so we have no reason to stay there.
That's true.
Yeah.
We would have to
Magic
come back and
circle.
like take us somewhere else now,
Like
please.
2 trips left if I learn some more glyphs.
If I'm a 9th level warlock, I learn teleportation circle, so
I mean, you have a
know
bard
that
that
now.
knows teleportation
that's
circle.
also true. I didn't know what levels.
You also have an
Level spells.
NPC who knows teleportation circle,
We don't.
who
we don't
knows
wanna-
all of the
Don't
rules.
trust this NPC.
Yeah, we don't trust him.
Most of
Beyonce?
them teleport, but
She literally has our
You're
stolen
just stealing
item on
just
her
something.
side. Like, that is a big flex that she
Yeah, she doesn't really like us right now, so we should abuse that relationship.
okay. So you guys, I have my list of possible entities. Which entity?
Can you just like take a screenshot or like take a photo with your camera and send it in the chat?
Well, let's go with demons first.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't write down a lot for each one. So there's probably okay. So the whole point of this is that I'm not going to explain it in character just because this is a lot to explain in a French accent. So you don't want to pick someone, pick an entity that's like Asmodeus, the Devil Lord, like Lord of
You could.
because
It'll be difficult, but you could.
technically he's a god. So like you don't want to pick someone ultra powerful. Like you could theoretically, this will work with him super well, but like you would probably die in the process.
So we want like a lesser deity.
Like just below that, like a step or
Just
two
below
below.
that.
Might kill us. Like a
Like a
might kill
90% chance of killing you guys instead of like
Okay.
99.
Mm-hmm.
So the two demons, Abraxas, ABRAXAS. His not euphemism, but like his epithet is Abraxas the Unfathomable. He would be kind of interesting just because. Well, you'll figure out. These are just names. You can do research on them later. The other demon that might be easier to fight than some of the other ones is Baphomet, Lord of Minotaurs.
I like that one.
Promising.
I like
Yeah.
that one.
So,
Is he
Devil.
strong enough to do what we want though? Or are you only telling us things that are possibly strong enough to do what we want?
these are probably strong enough. You would probably have to go do more research. I'm gonna tell you the name of them.
No, that's
And you
fair.
can-
That's fair.
And if you want to do any base history checks about information that you know about any of them, I would say either two of you can for everyone, or one person can make it with advantage if somebody's helping out.
I have no right to be doing any checks in this because I would have no idea.
I think
I'll do all the Fey ones, but
Do I have
Yeah,
do I have the
so-
highest history modifier?
I have 6.
I have 9.
Then let Sylvius do it.
Do we
think we
want to
should
do
both do it.
advantage? Yeah,
Everyone was given an advantage.
I feel like. I guess, yeah.
You can both do it. Like,
True.
do what you
It
want.
it also depends. Like, if one of you has a stronger like right in knowing that information, like, okay, I'm gonna say like, if it's something
Yeah.
that you a character would never heard about, but you roll like a 19 or a 20, so
Sal
what?
definitely
Wait,
knows
I have
all
a
about
question
it.
actually. Did you guys ever say anything about that 13 history check I made? Was it just
About which thing? I see
Um,
13.
so?
What?
Sal asked, where he was trying to remember if he knows anyone that would have more information about demons, or if he knew about.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, you
Okay.
don't.
that's what I
that
figured. I
is-
just wanted to make sure.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, like Sal might have more information on like demons and devils because that's kind of his thing, and Sylvius might have just had a wider perusing. It just like the DCs will be probably just similar but slightly different for each of you.
So
But
so for demons, I'd let Sal take it.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
I'll
or each
happily,
one of you
I'll
can
happily help out.
each roll, but that's up to
Alright.
you guys.
which one are you rolling for?
Do minotaurs maybe.
Yeah, let's do the Baphomet.
They both seem like big,
Not
like strength-based individuals.
yeah. Minotaurs
You
is gonna
have
be.
Minotaurs more so.
Mm-hmm.
Most important thing is we need to fight a demon that will willingly not run away.
Yeah.
That kills
Oh,
us.
none of them
in
will run
every
away.
Major fight we get into.
100% not a minotaur. It's part bull. Can't bow down from a fight.
Yeah, I don't
make,
think.
make a history check with advantage if Sylvius is helping you,
Very
Sal.
much will.
All right.
And this will just be like base knowledge. This isn't like super deep stuff. This is just like you're trying to narrow down like, okay, this is what I know. This might be a good person, this might not be. So go ahead.
Best stat. Best
Hey.
stat.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
He actually does know everything about pop.
You know quite a bit, actually. Baphomet, also known as the Demon Lord of Minotaurs, also known as the Prince of Beasts and the Horned King. You know that he's essentially like a Minotaur. Like, there's a reason why he's the Lord of Minotaurs, Demon Lord. It's because he's a Minotaur. He is very, what's the word? Like savage demon lord. Like demons are savage things, but this is very much like hungering for destruction and death and violence. But he is known to be quite he's quite angry very often, but he's tactful. Contrary to popular belief.
He's what contrary to popular belief?
He's quite intelligent.
Okay.
Oh no.
But would you like to make one on Abraxas or no?
Sure.
Can't hurt.
Make a history check with advantage if Sylvius is helping you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You don't know quite as much about this one, but that's okay because this one's more mysterious. Abraxas is a demon lord quite unique because they are obsessed with magic and like the weave of magic. Everything lost like arcane secrets and essentially gaining followers through like very secretive kind of magic, whispering in the ears of mages and gaining lore, like exchanging power for secrets. Things like that. You don't know too much about them, but that's what you do know.
Okay.
So he'd be in the map.
He'd be super into magic. There may be benefits to going to there. You're not quite sure of getting someone that's more magic based than not.
That sounds like someone we would talk to more than just fight.
Yeah, a Minotaur we'd 100% fight.
I mean, you're probably gonna have to fight anyone.
Yeah.
We can have hopes and dreams.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure.
like,
Talk away.
it's a pretty tough sell. Like,
Please sacrifice yourself to this chaos entity.
Please.
I know
You'll
you're,
be
I know
tortured.
you both are beings of chaos, so like, it won't really bother you that much if he takes over. But like, please
Yeah, maybe you
hold
can
him
be best
back.
friends.
You can merge with it and have access to
Okay.
We'll come
For
back for you, we promise.
for devils, you would
Ooh.
they would probably tell you two. There is Garyon, and Adramelech.
What are these for again? What class are
These are devils, so they're
Okay.
also fiends. It's like demon adjacent.
Yeah.
There's a blood war. It's a whole thing. Garyon is the deposed lord of the fifth layer of hell. Adramelech is the chancellor of hell and keeper of records.
So he's a nerd.
If you want to find out more about either one of those,
Okay.
Does anyone have a specialty in this classification of being?
I mean, I guess considering that demons and devils are similar, Sal would probably be the most specialized in this.
I'm really asking because I have no. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, I'm just assuming they're similar. I feel like Sal would
Would
know.
Sal know that they're similar?
Yeah, would Sal know that?
know that who Garyon and Adramelech are similar.
No, that demon. The difference between a demon and a devil.
Okay.
I don't know as a player what the difference is.
Make a religion check.
Okay.
Fair.
Sweet.
So,
You know, they're both evil.
Sick.
There's a distinction. It doesn't really matter. In the end, they both should die.
Respectable.
All right. I guess I'll do Garyon then. Let's go
Okay.
with that.
There we go. Yeah, you know quite a bit. Garyon was the former Lord of the Fifth, which the 9 hells are split into 9 different layers of hell. Garyon used to be the Lord of the Fifth, but got deposed by a guy probably familiar to you, Connor, known as Levistus, which you might have heard Tomb of Levistus, which is a warlock ability.
Well-
But Garyon is a how to describe this guy? He's also known as the Serpentine Lord, the Deposed Lord, the Forgotten Lord, the Trifold Duke, the Great Beast, the Wild Beast, the Broken Beast. Or with that high of a history check, you also know he's referred to as Lord of the Filth as a
Filth?
derogatory reference of like, oh, you're not Lord of the Fifth anymore, you're Lord of the Filth.
But
He's like half serpent guy, half bat guy, half human guy. He's got like the torso over human with bat wings on the back, and his legs are actually just a serpentine body.
He seems like a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, like, does the Lord of the Minotaurs not also sound like a lot?
He seems like less of a lot.
Really?
Like
Lord of the
mentally,
Minotaurs
it's
had his
easier.
own circle of hell for a while.
I do want to point out the quote from Mordenkainen that's on the wiki page for this, which is Which is less worthy? The archdevil who leads a lair while being trapped in a block of ice, or the archdevil that can't outmaneuver a frozen adversary? Which is just like shots fired at the 5th layer.
Fudge. Okay.
But that's carry on. That's again a lot of that's mostly just his titles and what he looks like, but that describes a lot. Would you like to know more about Adramelech?
Yes. Let's go for it.
Just assume that answer is always yes.
Ooh.
Hard to it's a little bit this guy's a little bit weirder. They mention his name, you're all just like, oh yeah, that's the right hand of Asmodeus.
Damn, they really were.
You would know who Asmodeus is. Asmodeus is Lord of the Ninth and the King of the Hells, and he is the god of devils.
Okay, so his right hand.
His right hand is Adramelech, the Chancellor of Hell, the Keeper of Records, kind of a nerd. You're not wrong, Jess.
But he still seems like a big no-no.
Very, very powerful.
He seems like a nerd with like who's best friends with like the football captain. So you say no.
Yeah,
Dude, this guy is like Oppenheimer. He's a nerd who knows how to nuke everyone.
Yeah, he's a nerd who stay away from.
He's
Yeah.
the nerd that has a list of jocks' names in his bag.
Yeah. So don't
Yeah.
cross me.
he has the captain of the football team on speed dial.
This guy.
And the captain will beat you up if you offend him.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Alright, what's next?
Okay, so we have dragons, which you guys know a bit about. You guys know 2 ancient dragons that exist on the material plane that are nearby-ish, maybe. One of them is Sidris, which you know is somewhere around Zerel. Then you know Zethrandur, which you don't know a lot about, but those would be probably Sylvius would want to make these checks.
Do we know the color of these dragons?
You know, yes, you know Sidris. You would
Is
know
red.
Sidris is red, and Zethrandur, because Sylvius did research on Zethrandur or tried to do research on Zethrandur. You know, very, 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 very basic knowledge of Zethrandur, a white dragon.
Would I recall anything else regarding Zethrandur?
No, you rolled really low. I remember this. I was laughing at you.
Alright, cool.
So what friends do.
As friends do. But if you'd like to make another check to see if you could try to remember anything, maybe I'll tell you his other names.
Okay.
Sounds gonna-
Would this be a straight roll?
Yeah, I don't think yeah, I don't think what's it called? God, I keep wanting to call your character Connor, but I know it's Sal. I don't think Sal would know anything about Zethrandur.
Okay.
What's that?
Nice. You would know Zethrandur is called Lord of the North, the Dreadhail. Who you would know he's up on Gaidarian Peninsula, probably near the eastern side of it. You don't know much about what he's about, what he does. Terrorize elvish cities, you assume. But you do know that's his vague location.
Cool. Neat. Thank you. Where's the Gaidarian Peninsula? Can you highlight it on the map, or is it not on here?
It is up here.
Cool. Thank you.
It's like way up.
Alright.
This little bit.
I have a map actually of it.
Does the map have secrets on it? No.
Oh.
Oh yeah, we did.
No, we've seen this before.
Yeah, we saw
We've
it.
seen this.
We've sawned it before.
Oh yeah.
We've sawned it before. Yeah. Because that's where the Raven Queen stuff, isn't it?
Yep, right there. Voices to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's probably somewhere over here.
Probably in the Dreadrise Mountains. Or
I mean,
who
while
knows?
we're there, we could always, stop by, pick up some vestiges, and get out.
Dragon is definitely guarding it.
The
Oh, that would-
vestiges would be very funny.
Honestly, that would make sense.
Like, what else would the ancient dragon be hoarding?
It's a shiny it's
for
well, not
magic.
shiny. Yeah, it's a magic object, of course.
Oh,
Nothing
wait,
has ever made more
his dragons are
sense.
the most powerful thing on our current planet.
Yeah, no, that actually tracks.
All right. Yeah, I'll move you guys back. Yeah. So those are the two dragons you guys know of. In terms of hags, there's one hag that would probably fit. That would definitely fit the bill. And then they also mentioned two hags that might. So the first one they mention is Arcania de Chantraine, who's known as the Maiden of Hags and is the grandmother hag of the granny hag of all hags on Zerel. Which, when they mention the name, Abaddon kind of like scoffs and rolls his eyes. But doesn't say anything. They also mention,
Wait, I'll question him. What was that about?
I've had some experiences with her way of doing things in the past. I'd rather, if possible, avoid her. The Fae are fickle creatures, and there's no one as fickle as Arcania.
I know a hag.
You do?
Yeah, she went by the Diviner. She was in what's the word you just said?
Endair.
Endair.
Either.
Gniter.
Do you know her level? In
No.
society, they have titles they go by.
No, but Artagan knew her, kind of. It seemed.
Artagan?
Yeah.
Oh, let me see if.
Right? Wasn't it? Or was it? It did seem like they had knew of each other at least.
Yeah,
I remember, right?
it's more that seeing whether Abaddon knows who Artagan is.
Who's Artagan?
Just a buddy and a
So-
pal.
One of the very few nice people in the Feywild, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, he might not like to be called nice. I don't really. But yeah, he's helped us out of a situation or two.
All right.
He's also part of the reason why I'm not one of the Fae in one of the courts.
All right. Well, like I said, if possible, we should probably try to avoid the Fae. They are fickle creatures, and while they are innately powerful and tied to magic, they can be. Let's say my ancestors are not quite kind or easy to capture individuals. But it is possible, and if you wish to deal with them, it may be easier to gain access to than some areas, such as gain access to and gain information on than in some areas. But there are two more. Arcania is the grandmother hag in Zerel, but there is Glamoria and Polgara, who are her children, is the best word I can describe their weird relationship. They're aunties. Next level below grandmother.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if we want to deal with hags.
Hags seem like they could all. Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they seem like less of a challenge than the right hand of Asmodeus.
Yeah, I think we should cross Asmodeus off the table.
I mean, we're not going for him. I mean, we got Dramelech. Garyon maybe, or no. Yeah, Garyon maybe not. You might still have a chance with him. But I think the devils we can. I have a plan. As ludicrous as it seems.
I think every plan is going to be ludicrous.
Sylvius might not actually have a plan. Hannah and Alex, how much would Sylvius know about the Blood War? Because Daniel knows a little bit about the Blood War, but Sylvius might not.
Make a history check.
Okay. No, I know jack shit about the Blood War.
Nah, you don't know anything.
Cool, I have no
Blood War.
fucking idea what's going on. In the hell, it's just wild down there.
Devils,
Just out.
demons? What's the difference? Who knows?
Fuck, man.
That'll be the overall of the campaign. Ooh, short-term goal. Figure it out. What's the difference?
Yeah, the short-term goal is to figure out what's the difference between devils and demons, because no one knows.
They're the same thing.
Right, what's next?
So Archfey. So Archfey, any court leader would suffice. So that, would be Queen Titania or like the Queen of Air and Darkness or King Oberon, but you should probably avoid those people. But there's also people below them that might be useful, or just random other Archfey. Like the Sisters of Lament. Let me double check that this one is good. The other one, I don't think it does.
I'm afraid to think my thought in my head. In character.
Hey, why would you ever be afraid of that?
Because I'm pretty sure Artagan could probably my thought.
I don't know
Yeah.
if you can
Yeah.
stop yourself from thinking thoughts, though, in character.
Yeah.
The
It
Sisters
would
of
be
Lament.
whether Artagan. Well, no, it would be whether Artagan would be strong enough to consider what we're doing.
Make an Arcana check.
This could go very poorly. I mean, I really should. Cause it did.
Are you talking about this in real life? Like in the game?
They're right. The fact that I can't technically going through the head, and 100, it would go. We're making a history check.
Arcana.
Yeah.
Arcana. Oh,
Check.
it doesn't matter. They're the same thing. Actually, that's very scary.
Yeah, you would.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay. I'll keep that knowledge.
Alright, can I do a history check on the Sisters of...
Do a history check.
Ew, I hate what that is.
Is there any chance I've ever come across these people?
Well, let me read this real fast.
Um,
You
maybe, but if you
maybe actually
roll for it, and we'll may.
Yeah.
Alright,
I have an idea.
do I get advantage or anything or no?
I
Yeah,
don't.
I'll straight history.
Not bad.
Ooh.
Nice. You think for a minute, and you're thinking really hard. And, like you're like you laugh when I say that, but like your time in the Feywild is blurry. You know you spent time there. You remember someone telling you about them. They're these like sisters that are part. They're like trapped by the Prince of Frost, essentially. That they are a bunch of sisters who were cursed by the prince, and I say a bunch of sisters. There's two. There's Morrowind and Soul Sorrow. And cursed by the Prince of Frost to only sing sad songs and only sing songs, the song of the winter wind promising death. They are the ice beneath your feet just as it cracks, and the howl of the hungry wolf in the wintertime. And you remember someone told you that. Their face is blurry, and then the memory shifts. They're not talking about the Sisters of Lament anymore. They're talking about something else. You need to do something. You need to find someone. But then the memory fades, and that's all you get.
This is troubling, but that doesn't matter right now. The Sisters of Lament, they're cursed already by the Prince of Frost. I'm sure he would love us to simply remove them from the wild. 2 of them, we only need to get 1. Maybe we can trick one to giving up the other one for some type of magic or something.
Or
I feel like
maybe
there's a pretty strong chance we could get one of them.
maybe the prince would be willing to like lift one of the ones curse kind of thing if we got rid of one and the other like turned the other sister.
And also know the Prince of Frost would also do just as well too.
Or we can capture the big guy, but that might be a bit harder.
Yeah, that does seem a little harder.
Yeah, that seems like we're going after what's the right hand to the Lord of Hell.
Yeah.
The same.
Well, I mean, it's not like we're going after the Queen of Air and Darkness.
That's true. We could, but I don't think it is.
No, hell no.
And then the last one, crazy thought, probably not a good idea, but you could theoretically go after Baba Yaga.
Ooh.
Who might have maybe some alternate solutions for you.
Of course she would.
Who is this?
Baba Yaga. If you would like to make a history check, I'll
Right.
about her.
Somehow my histories in Arcana have been okay tonight.
Wait, like,
Good one.
did you say Baba Yaga?
I did say Baba Yaga.
The chicken-like house?
Like House Baba Yaga?
Maybe make a history check, and I'll tell you about it.
See what if Jack's didn't do it, I'll do it.
I'll do it.
I'll be your least qualified.
I worked
My
with
history
Faya
is
to help
not
her.
good, but-
No, if Jack help we're
Oh shit!
Ooh.
when your least qualified teammates go, I got this one.
Yeah,
I got
literally.
it. I got it.
You've heard all of the wives' tales about Baba Yaga.
Wait, I wanna know what I would have gotten. Just these.
Baba.
Oh,
Oh my
shit!
god! Yeah,
y'all are
both.
smart rogue. Baba Yaga. You have both, especially you, Jack, have heard stories told in a hushed tones as you were going to sleep, a fairy tale to scare you to stay on the straight and narrow path. Not that it worked with either one of you, but
Sounds about right.
but you've heard stories of a skeleton-thin old crone who flies about in a mortar and pestle and devours children. How she has the strength of an ox and teeth of iron and the appetite of 10 men.
Huh.
And how her house dances through the forest, shrieking like death itself. Baba Yaga is the oldest and most powerful of all hags. Brave heroes come to her aid, and those who did not succumb to her appetite learned many things that they sought. So even if you don't go there, even if you don't want to capture her, she is a source of vast knowledge and information. You would know she's also called Little Grandmother. She prefers to be called Little Grandmother as a sick joke.
Sounds like a great lady.
But, you know, She is, you know. She's pretty
That was
cool.
Little grandmother.
Oh. Ugh.
Archdevils and demon princes alike are indebted to her. And those that will try to break her contracts will find that her vengeance will be both complete and unexpected.
So wait, does this woman like contracts?
Yeah, she's
As
known.
all hags do.
She's
Yeah,
known
all
for
hags
making
Had to learn from
deals.
someone, right?
Huh. I don't feel like we should capture her, but she would be a cool one to talk to.
As
Let's
a
go on a vacation.
as a note, Jack, as
Mhm.
just a little bit of there's all this horrifying stuff about her. Sometimes, Baba Yaga will occasionally adopt a child instead of devouring it and raises it as her own before sending them on her way.
Aww.
That's not awe.
No, it's
Jess.
not. No, it could be. If we work into our potential. It'll be your child size.
Have
It'll
a
be your-
child, don't we? Where's Gwen?
Yeah,
You gotta work into
but
your
they're
favor.
alive. She doesn't eat them.
That's where what's her face went, isn't it? Who
Tasha.
did Zimba's?
Yeah.
We know of a child. We need to find Amanda.
Yeah, that's what
You're
I'm saying.
shitting
Her
me.
name was- That's where she went.
We should ask
That's
her if she
ridiculous.
knows
That's
about
ridiculous
Amanda.
stuff. I like it.
What if Baba Yaga just eats her?
No, Amanda's
if Baba
powerful.
Yaga already
Amanda's
has?
powerful. Like, that's an 8-year-old doing some hardcore magic.
You
Well,
taught
no,
her
I
to
mean-
cast light.
Exactly. Hardcore magic.
Hardcore.
She wanted to cast light, and then all of a sudden her magic went out of control.
Oh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where is she? No one knows.
No, well, we do.
We do. We know.
We do.
We
We
know
know.
that.
We know.
Well, you know, first you're casting light, then you're casting fireball.
Then
Yeah.
you're casting fucking plane shift, so.
And then
Yeah.
you're casting the Demonomicon.
So it
Then you're
seems
right
to me like Amanda is our only option.
You could pick
That's,
any of them, but
a
we're just
very-
gonna trap Amanda instead.
Yeah. Instead of any
Uh-huh.
of the, like, you know, powerful entities, we're going to try to find that little girl that we abandoned.
Well, we didn't
And-
abandon her. She was taken from us.
She left, okay?
Her magic went out of control, and Zen was the only one around.
Okay.
I thought Amanda walked through the portal.
She did.
No, she was taken.
I was taken.
her magic went out of control, and she like fell through it, and Zen
Oh,
couldn't grab her
right, yes.
because she got scared because the people tried to rob him.
Yeah.
Remember this? This was really
Mhm.
funny.
People tried to oh, they did try to rob us.
Uh-huh. I honestly think that the simplest target that we can go after are the Forlorn Sisters.
Sisters of Lament.
Sisters
Yeah,
of Lament.
I kind of agree with that too. Like, I feel like there's a lot of things we can do to like capture them.
But okay.
If you guys want to find, like I said, the information that I gave you was very cursory. If you want to find out more information, you have to go to the library, which we can
To-
say like you guys do. If you
To
guys
the
want.
library we go.
To the library you go.
To the
I think
Wait.
we can
Tutelian
look up
library.
Celestials, alright.
We're gonna
I'm
look
good
up a
with
lot of
not
things.
enslaving angels.
Yeah, I think that's kind of gonna leave a kind of a bad taste in like the clerics' mouths
Yeah, and the gods.
And-
yeah.
and like
Wait,
most
no,
of the
I know
party. as
Celestial. That would make me angry.
Abaddon pipes up when you say let's trap a celestial. And what's his name? Hold on, give me a minute as I look up the one
Oh, I
celestial's
know who
name.
you're talking about. Oh, I forget what
There's
their name
one
is.
dude. Where is
Oh wait. Did
We
you
will not
ever
let
have-
him continue. He will start singing a very loud song, Celestial, making it impossible for Abaddon to relay this information.
No, because he hates the gods. So like,
Oh, yeah, no, not this one. One, ba 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 ba.
is it the one
Yes.
that took his ability to, or is it the one?
Agon
The guy with
Stenglis.
Yeah.
Abaddon goes, Well, if we want to trap a celestial, we could just trap Agathengulus.
Who?
Wait,
Is
is this the one?
This is Snitch Boy.
Yeah, because I researched Abaddon when I was a little time ago, and that name sounded very familiar. Yep.
But Abaddon, he goes, though he's probably not powerful enough. We would need a solar or a planetar. And those are rare. And rarely come out of their celestial hiding places.
Okay, so Tutelay.
Alright. You guys, after giving this rundown of information, Abaddon stands up, thanks you all for coming, and then leaves the room. Cyruliana goes to the back of the room once more, and this time she's drawing a different set of runes, glyphs that none of you guys recognize.
I'm gonna do it again.
Okay.
Also,
This time she doesn't stop you. She doesn't care. Make an Arcana check. DC
Nice.
17 once more.
you got this.
Dude, my Arcana is like the ones. Intelligence and strength are my keys.
Oof.
You are
Is that
trying.
bad?
This one is a lot more intricate than the ones that they came here with.
Ty, did
And-
you say you were doing it as well?
I was gonna say, because if I see him going for
Okay, make an
Yeah.
Arcana check.
I lost it in the list.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, so close.
Hey.
She's doing
Notice that
quite
as I'm failing, can I inspire her instead?
no, because it has to be before the roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she
Yeah.
does it, she's very quick when she does it. Just quick enough that I can't grasp it
I will draw as
Yeah.
as much as you can.
as close as I can.
Yeah. You think you've got them, but you can see that there's like certain flourishes that you're missing, but you don't actually know whether that's important or not. But you think
Okay.
you've got some runes that
I'm gonna add this to my list.
She opens the portal. The portal opens and she runs through it. I assume all of you follow.
So this will run through.
Change the music a little bit then. I don't know what music to pick. This one's good enough, I guess. You all end up in an unfamiliar location. None of you have been here before. The portal on the other side leads to a what time of day would it? It's close to sunset, so you exit into a white marble room. There are two guards stationed at the exit of this room who, when you appear, go, "Halt! State your name of business." Which Cyruliana steps forward and goes, "I am Cyruliana Deante. I am here on the word of Abaddon Renata. I am here to access some of the spell supplies and spell school at the disposal of the school." When they hear the word Abaddon, they hear her name. They both pale and step back into place and let you pass without issue. She leads you out of the room. You are all on, and she leads you into this kind of like Grecian style, like exterior hallway is the best way I can describe it. And you are far above the city. You can see, looking out, you can see the petals themselves of Tutele, the floating sections of the city are not where you are. Which that reminds me, I have to flip to the right map. Where's this map? I know I drew. There we go. Looking out, Sylvius, Thea, Jack, you would probably recognize the area you on, though none of you have ever been here before. This is the School of Magic, the School of Abjuration of the city of Tutele, which is floating. It's an island separate from the actual place itself.
Have we been
It's
here
called
before?
the Arcane
No.
Citadel.
You've not
Okay.
been here before.
We've been to the other silent place.
You would know that this place is like this is like the School of Magic. It is flourishing. It has one of the largest collections of spells in the world. Some of the largest collections of spell components. It graduates noble families mostly. And part of its job is that it floats around the outside of the city and acts as a guardian of sorts for the rest of the city. Cyriliana speaks to some of the acolytes, some of the guards, like people that work there, who start rushing off following her orders, and she turns around and goes, I am going to be disposed of for a time as I copy down the spell for plane shift. When you decide, I am having my associate here provide transport to the library. You can use the library here, but it is more arcane focused. My recommendation is going to the Cobalt Soul and going to the Temple of Ioun, where there is quite the library, as I am sure you all are aware of. But my associates will bring you back here in a few hours after I have completed my spells. My spell. And then we will either we can stay here in the city or we can head back to the headquarters if you wish.
Quick question.
Hmm.
What race is
She's a
Cyriliana?
half elf.
Okay, good to know. Okay, let's head to the
Lidberry.
Cobalt Soul then.
All right. Yeah, she walks away and is escorted by two other people. You all are approached by some of the workers here who kind of usher you toward a private ship. Like kind of like a floating dinghy is the best way I can describe it. That
Oh.
takes you. Yes.
Before we go, Sylvius would just like to try and find any books that are just like kind of light-ish reading, but still have like basics of magic in them.
Oh, easily acquired. You ask some of the people that are helping you out. They're like, yes, we can give you instructional. Would you prefer a specific school of magic? Would you prefer cantrips? Would you prefer things about spells?
Evocation, please.
Of course. And they quickly provide you a beginner's guide to evocation magic.
Books out of this library, or is it you have to leave them there?
The library you're going to, you have to leave them there. This beginner's guide to evocation magic seems like a textbook that they're just giving Sylvius. It looks very small. It also looks pretty well worn, like multiple students have used it. They seem very nervous around you all.
Is it because of the mention of Liana?
Make an insight check.
I keep closing my character sheet. It's a big dummy move. It's okay. I only learn non-important.
I mean, they're very nervous acolytes. I would say they're probably pretty easy to read. And yeah, you can definitely see they keep like glancing over towards Ceruleana, and sometimes when they think you're not looking, they're like whispering to each other, and mostly like keep glancing at Ceruleana. So you'd think it's probably either Ceruleana's presence or the mention of Abaddon.
At one point in time, I'm guessing I also see them stare over because of a passive perception. When I see them like keep looking right to Lana, I go, I'll watch for everyone, and I go, it's rude to stare. I just kind of back away.
They kind of, and they kind of don't look at you guys anymore. They like refuse to make eye contact, refuse to stare at any of you, including Ceruleana. Take you to a private airship, a very small, like dinghy style airship. And it goes directly to the library. Like, there is no shortcuts. You do not have to walk anywhere. It flies and lands directly outside of the library. Where it looks like there's already people waiting outside to escort you inside. Like, they were alerted of your presence.
I say to the party in general, or what's exactly happening here?
Yeah. I don't trust how we're getting the premium treatment.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, to be honest.
Can't believe I looked up to those people.
The
People in the library upstairs.
Yeah. I didn't know they infiltrated the magic school.
Well, I doubt they did. It's just that everyone in the magic school seems to have lost their backbone.
Are most of the large cities in this country flying?
No, just this one.
Yeah. It's like a good way to enforce a class system, you know?
Yeah, cool.
My hometown was big. We didn't have. Alright, let's go study.
Right. Yeah, you are led into the library. You have private. Each of you have a private assistant to help you out. Let's just. Is there anything you would like to research collectively as a group, or would each of you like to research someone or something individually?
As a group, do we want to do the sisters?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do because I don't really have
He's gonna
like
peel off
anything I
individual.
particularly care about.
What is Whitney gonna do research on?
Whitney is going to look for an illustrated guide to Archfang.
Okay, interesting. Okay. Is Sal and Sylvius doing group research, or are they gonna do individual research?
Sal doesn't really have anything that you want to individually research on, so he'll help the group out with the Tormented Sisters research.
Okay. And Sylvius? Daniel?
He's not muted.
Yeah, I don't know if he can hear us. It's fine.
I have a bottle with in my backpack and it's still cold. Let's go.
Nice, Evan.
Like, fucking good, boys.
Okay. Let's do the group research first. Who would like to lead the research on the Sisters of Lament? This would probably be an investigation check.
Very.
Made with advantage
Yeah.
since you guys are doing it as a group.
It's my best stat.
Maybe I was gonna say, I think
It's not. It's one of my worst stats.
And
mine's not good.
Dance. I have no idea. What is dance? Can someone answer that question for?
Pretty good.
Fucking better than mine.
Yeah, I have a 1 in it. It's not nice.
In investigation, let me check.
Sylvia.
I think you're a 1 too, if I had to guess. Roughly, Evan, 1 or 2.
Yep, I'm a 1. I'm a dumb bitch.
Sylvia's a 5.
Sal has 7, and he could use knowledge of the ages to give him proficiency and make it a 9. Or no,
Do you
actually,
Have
more than
proficiency?
that. What? You
Do
made
you
a,
already have?
no, he doesn't. He doesn't have proficiency in investigation
Uh,
How is it a 7 then? Is my question.
because he has let's see, observance. What is it? Oh yeah, it says you have a +5 bonus to your passive wisdom and passive intelligence in parentheses investigation scores for observant.
okay, so your Sal's character sheet should read something. If you're not proficient in investigation,
Mhm.
I don't think it should be a +7 though. There.
Yeah, it's a +5 to your passive perception and passive investigation.
So that's not like your checks. That's like the
Yeah.
things around you.
Never
Yeah,
mind
so it
then.
should be this.
It should just be a +2.
So then he'd get a +4.
But you.
Yeah, you would still have more than Jan if you do your channel divinity.
Yeah, because you get your proficiency bonus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 100%. Take advantage.
So
Yeah, nice.
you can make it with advantage since you're doing it with a group.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Nice.
Let me pull up my thing about them. I have a whole PDF. Do, 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 do,
Well,
do.
we're really gonna get that XP for learning things about the world around us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're really just gonna. Nope, you only get it once, guys. Okay, so okay, you gotta know a little bit about the Prince of Frost before you can learn about the Sisters of Lament.
A lot of the passages that talk about the Sisters of Lament also talk about the Prince of Frost and the Sun Prince.
Yes. Okay, so the Prince of Frost is like the name suggests, the Prince of Frost. Okay, so the Prince of Frost was once known as the Sun Prince, a Eladrin Lord of Light in the summer, and he was betrothed to someone that he dearly loved, and but his lover, the elven maiden that he fell for, betrayed him and fled his realm, having fallen in love with this like human warrior. And in his sorrow, because this is the Feywild, he laid a curse upon himself. He became super sad, essentially, and depressed, and froze his heart and raised his realm of warmth and joy, creating this winter hellscape, essentially. So the prince, the Prince of Frost seeks out like the reincarnations of his lost love in order to like get revenge, essentially, or to heal his curse. The Sisters of Lament come in because the Sisters of Lament were the two sisters of his lover, the one that betrayed him. And when she left, the sisters fell into despair, as the realm that they once lived in, this beautiful summer, like abundant place, turned into a winter hellscape. And they withered away under the Pale Prince, which is also what they call the Prince of Frost. They were used to be called the Daughters of Delight, but then they became the Sisters of Lament, and they took on the names Mournwind and Soul Sorrow. And so they maintain this hope that they can get their sister to the reincarnation of their sisters to come back and like marry the Prince of Frost, so that way the realm could be healed. So super tragic story, feels bad.
There's a lot of manipulation we could.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot going on there. Easily enough, you could probably try and turn, if you really wanted to go after the Prince of Frost, you could turn the Sisters of Lament against the Prince of Frost. If the curse, because the curse seems to come from him. So if you could kill the Prince of Frost, you might break the curse.
Mm-hmm.
So Bobby, yeah.
But that's kind of like a Baba Yaga question if you want to know how to figure that out. Whitney, you were looking for an illustrated book of the Feywild, right? Of the
Archfey.
Archfey. Make an investigation check.
That's awful.
You can't find an illustrated one. It's hard to find books just talking about the Archfey. That finding an illustrated one, like the ones that you find are more like children's fable, like collections of children's fables, which are, I mean, it's the Feywild, so they're slightly accurate, but like there's only the information they provide isn't useful.
And it's not like they cite their sources either, so...
I see if there's a list of book titles and see if any of the names look familiar.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Well,
No.
that's always investigation.
Reading is hard. You try to think about your time in the Feywild and think about what you've learned and all that, and it just isn't. You definitely read stuff in the Feywild, but like
Things just aren't clicking in your head.
is there anything anyone else would like to research?
Yeah, I want to look into like basically magical effects being put intent, if that makes sense. Basically, what happened to the
Repeat
pamphlet.
that. You cut out a little bit.
I said I wanted to like research like items that have gained magical effects without like intent, if that makes sense. Like not due to like person enchant. Like what happened to the pamphlet?
Yeah.
Do a investigation check. You do a bit of research on this, and your research goes into the nature of Archfey and how they're very, very tricky, manipulative creatures who really just can't be trusted with pretty much anything.
Not new
And-
information.
Not new information. They also begin to speak of the strange magic that Archfey, but that permeates the Feywild. And they speak of people who make deals with, what's the word? With, not the devil, but the Archfey. And how they change, and how their magic can infiltrate objects of their desire, of their holding, and mostly is if the Archfey itself wants to fuck with them, they might begin to let their magic seep into the things around them.
Okay.
That's what you get with the 17.
Okay. I'll take it. It's a little more information.
Sylvius would like to look into anyone who has killed demon or devil lords in the past.
Oh, do we want to kill her or are we trying to like capture?
Well, I want to know people who have killed them.
That's also fair. But I was wondering, what is their goal here?
But I mean, like, I feel like kill is like a more general thing. Because, like,
Make an
capture-
investigation check.
Ugh. Awful.
You can't. This. Nobody has really killed a demon lord before. This is not a common occurrence.
The best that you can find are like some fiction books, but as they're fiction, you have no idea whether they actually happened or not.
I see. Okay. Alright. I won't ask any more upon this fiction.
All right. Is there anything else you guys would like to research? It's probably been a few hours at this point, so you guys have been at this for a pretty long time.
Ooh! If I may be so selfish, I do want to research one more thing.
That would be.
Genies in the plane of air.
Ah, yes. Genies. I forgot to mention them, actually. I meant to mention genies earlier. I had names of genies. Make an investigation check.
Oh,
Oh
my
my
god!
God.
You're
The
kidding
plane
me.
of air exists.
Shit,
Genies
man.
exist. There have been mentions of genies making deals with humans and other mortals. Some, I mean, a lot of it is just like genies are very you don't learn a lot. I'm gonna be honest. You don't learn the different types of genies. You know that there are different types, but you're a little confused. And then you learn about how genies just kind of do what they want, and just kind of just vibe, and
You end
they
up
just go where they want.
stumbling into a ton of research about like the elemental planes in general, and it just confuses you.
distracted.
You get distracted.
It's really weird.
Question for you, Hannah, and something that we probably should have set out to begin with. How much can they choose to get help from, / are the Cobalt Soul members helping them?
This is a lot of thought process. I don't want to re-roll all those rolls. So
Yeah.
like,
And, I mean,
Well,
there's-
okay, do we want to say that at the beginning of the your guys' research, you can choose to have a group of Cobalt Soul workers would have said like, hey, if you guys want us to research stuff for you while you guys are doing your research, we can do that.
I want them to find a book about hags, just like a list of hag names, and then I want
General
I know
info
about-
on hags.
to cross-reference with the diviner. I want to figure out who she is. That's my goal.
You can literally just ask
I don't
Artaga.
want to do.
Do
I
you
still
think
want
that-
her a favor. I don't really want right now. Well, I've already tried talking to Artaga today. It didn't end well, so I didn't go anywhere.
let me roll for the. Let's roll a d20. Let's see what they get. 11. So they have a good, decent thing. You do get a list of hags that have been recorded in the continent on the continent of Zero. You learn about Arcania. Just like a list of names. There's the grandmother Arcania de Chantrain. Then there are aunties Glamoria de Chantrain and Polgara de Chantrain. Their epithets are Glamoria's is the moon crone, and Polgara's is the sophist of fortune. You also learn about other various hags. There's one called Misera Chalice, who's known as the Tarot Queen.
Wait, repeat that one again.
This. I'll just.
Okay, is there anything I can roll to be like ding a ding 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 ding? That's her.
What do you mean?
Like, alright, well, I'm pretty sure it's her, like the Tarot Queen.
Because
Well, someone we
Prospera did
met.
the tarot cards earlier.
Yeah.
You also learn about one called Radney von Bork. Let me just go through the list of names.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Which is called the Soothsayer. You learn about another one named Octavia Mania, which is also known as the Night Stalker. And you learn about one called Prospera, also known as the Diviner.
Okay. Sir, can I have a 2-minute rundown on?
Of the Prospera?
Yeah.
She is a more benign hag than most. She doesn't ascribe to the more morbid kind of style. Hey Sally.
Hi.
The more morbid style that most hags do. She has been known to make deals, but she doesn't. And she's known to be in the Endair area, but she does not outright kill people, and so they haven't really removed her.
Good deal.
So like she hasn't like harmed the natural area, so like they're like, we don't want to anger her, so we're just gonna let her be until she does something bad.
Okay.
So
I will point this out to Sylvius too, because I know he deal with her. Well, like, his deal. I don't know if it's been done, but I'll point it out to him.
Good to know.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like she, in terms of getting in a deal with any cat, she might be one of the better ones to have done it with.
She's probably the best one.
I guess I can count my lucky stars as far as they go for that.
Yeah.
Wait, excuse me? We're having a deal with a hag? And
Yeah.
first of all, not nice to call someone a hag just because they could be a very nice
No,
woman.
they're a literal hag.
She's
Oh.
definitely a hag.
They are a fey demon.
Yeah.
Okay. If you guys have nothing else to research, yes.
I look up a book of glyphs for a magic circle teleport thing.
Like a-
Teleportation circle.
Like a book of teleportation circles?
Teleportation circle sigils.
They would not have that here.
Yeah. Or if
And
they
you
do,
did
they're not
think-
letting you see it.
Yeah.
Good try, though. Good try.
Yeah.
That'd be more something at the magic school. But you would have to probably go through Cyriliana before anything else. But if you have nothing else, they will gather you all back up, essentially, ushering you back out, take you back to your private airship, and take you back up to the Arcane Citadel, where you see you meet up with a very, very tired Cyruliana, who she's like ink on her fingertips and stuff. Looks like she's been like writing a lot. She looks quite tired. Her hair's a little bit messed up. She goes, I do not have much energy left for today. If we could we go back to the headquarters? We can go back tonight, and I'll be fully ready tomorrow to go wherever you wish.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. She makes the runes, the teleportation circle runes, very familiar to you all.
Okay, this is step 2 of trying to write this one down, too.
Oh yeah, you want to try to memorize this one?
Yeah.
Inspire her.
Whitney, you can have advantage of this roll.
You've
If you
already seen
want
this one.
to look for it as well.
You do it yourself if you want. Or are you giving me...
You Saya, you only get you roll do a straight roll, but Whitney, you would get advantage.
No, that's what I was asking. He said he's talking about inspiration. Was he giving it?
Inspiration.
Yeah,
Whisper
sure.
in the back.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll use it. What am I working? Arcana.
Yes, Arcana.
Arcana. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Is it a D10?
Great question. I keep putting that up. Yes, it's a D10.
Yes.
23.
Nice. Are you gonna do this
Sneakily?
sneakily?
Yeah, I will.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Good check.
Not bad, not bad, not bad. Not great. It's a 10.
Cerulliana is very tired.
Yeah, she's also I was looking at passive perception.
Yeah.
She did not appear to notice as you quickly and quietly copy the runes down for the teleportation circle on a piece of paper and slip it to Whitney.
Yeah, I will slip it to. I was gonna say I'll slip it to Whitney. I have no use for it.
Yeah. You quietly slip it to Whitney. And you all teleport back. The portal opens, you rush through, and you are back in the very familiar room, stone room of the Silence headquarters. And with that, it is 10:29 p.m. Let's call it there and do what everyone's been
Night.
waiting for all night. XP! Yay! After I spent all night doing crazy note gathering.
Sorry,
Hold on,
Sally.
let me
Guys,
my
did
edit.
we end up sleeping?
You guys got
No.
a short rest, but you're about to sleep
Okay.
now, hypothetically.
Yeah, we
Awesome.
didn't do anything dangerous. All we did was learn things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't even think I put my money in from last time, so I'm a little bit behind. I can't do math.
I don't remember how much we got. For the
I-
guy.
Connor
Seven?
pinged me last time, so I have the money. I just never put it in.
That's fair.
Okay.
Yeah, we learned we have to basically go capture a power key in exchange for our tag and sister.
We have to do what now?
Capture a powerful entity. It's fine. We'll
Yeah.
figure it out.
But
Like
whoop-
stuck into a bottle type of powerful entity?
Yeah, yeah, like suck it into a bottle.
Pretty
Literally
much.
like that.
yeah. But we're probably going to start back
Yeah,
next
now that-
session with Guinevere's brother stuff.
Oh,
We didn't want to do
okay.
that because you weren't here, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Finals are not fun, y'all. Don't
They're
take
so
Orgo if anyone's watching. Do not take
Any-
Orgo.
anyway, did you guys think you completed a short-term goal this session?
I don't think so.
I don't think we even have goals right now.
Yeah.
We don't know what we're doing.
We're gonna talk about that later, but we kind
You
of
know-
have like a kidnapping thing happening. We need to do next session.
Now that I've
Yeah.
realized it, like they didn't tell us any details of how like they're gonna get the soul into the container.
Yeah, it's a little sketchy.
Like,
Wait,
do we have to like
is
hold
it
out
like
for like
a
a minute?
Horcrux thing happening, or like?
Zalek, we were being followed step in the contact for
They would have vaguely told you. Hannah came up with it on the spot, but I have developed it in my mind over the course of 2 hours, and I've decided upon this. Essentially, what would happen, and then they did tell you, in essence. Essentially, what would happen is you would very basically need to knock out them and perform the ritual. So that would involve setting up, like, essentially, like a little like prison thing around the creature, keeping them contained inside of that, and killing them
like a
while they're
magic circle.
kind of more like a magic triangle.
Okay, but same
But
idea.
they're-
Same
instead
idea.
of a circle, yeah, it's the same idea. Instead of a circle, you have like essentially like little things that you like, little markers that you have to like place down, and like you have to like stab them into the ground and like kill them while they're inside that area. And then when they die, and then put them in, make sure that whoever has
Okay.
the cage, the vase, the cage, is near enough to trap them inside of it. That's essentially what would happen. So that would be a lot of like, oh, you need to make an athletics. Someone needs to set them up. So probably somebody like strong or somebody with like a high arcana needs to set up like the device to do it while everybody's fighting a demon lord.
Ceruleana is going to be with us, right?
Yes.
She's
So
there to use the device.
yes, Cerulean is going to be there so she can perform the ritual to actually activate the three things.
And trap the soul.
Yes, and trap the soul. Anyway, experience. So you guys get 500. Nobody did anyone attune to a new magic item?
I just
don't think
realized
so.
I don't know if we did it. Did Salazar attune to the carpet?
I don't really remember if. I think he kind of just took it.
Meg, what items are you attuned to? Are you attuned to the you're attuned to your amulet of the Sentinel, and then your staff, and what else?
Well,
The
Amulet of
shield.
Sentinel, that was
Yeah,
Cinder.
you have a shield.
Oh,
He has
No
the
Cinder.
Sentinel shield. That might be what you were thinking of.
okay.
So Sentinel shield, the staff of the Revenant Soldier, and it should actually, if the third one might just be the rug. I thought there was another one, but it might
It's
just be
okay.
the rug.
We'll let's just let's get this XP down and close the stream, and
Okay.
we can talk about this afterwards.
Yeah.
A character invoked their bond to deal a flaw to make a meaningful impact during gameplay. No,
No.
I don't think so. A character developed a new existing relationship in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
I don't know just yet.
Maybe not.
Okay. A character just
Sorry.
no, it's okay. If you guys do you guys think that you guys did it?
No,
Or no?
I was saying we didn't really further our relationship with Abaddon.
Mhm.
That's
and I
fair.
think
Or Ceruleana.
I mean,
Ceruleana
you're
still
on
hates us, so
speaking
it's fine.
terms with Ceruleana, but yeah.
That's an improvement.
I have a question. Is she still under that love potion or
We
no?
never used it.
No.
You
No,
never
it lasts
used
an hour.
it.
Oh,
You never
And
used
it
it.
only lasts an hour.
still have it.
I wasn't there. I heard.
Jack
I
still
thought we
has
were
it.
gonna have a great steamy session.
Yeah.
Anyway, a character you guys definitely discovered a piece of interesting, useful, and or secret lore about the world or an NPC though.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Secret War happened 300 years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Secret. I need to.
That's
I need
all
to
you
watch the
learned.
video. Okay.
A character used a skill or spell to solve a problem in an interesting or meaningful way.
We didn't really have a problem. We just rolled investigation check.
Yeah.
Feels
Yeah.
bad.
I guess
You guys didn't
hypothetically,
really take
you
a
could see it being...
We literally just learned a lot. That's all we did.
Yeah.
That is
We
a
did take a
lot.
very long
It
journey,
is.
but it wasn't
That is
perilous.
true.
How the hell does Evan always roll nat 20s?
Because I'm
Just
the fucking
constant.
shit.
Mm.
That was our
It's
joke.
just that good.
Evan and I are the least qualified people to roll investigation in their conduct checks, but when we decided to do them today, they worked out pretty well for us.
Yeah.
We did.
21
you
for
guys
learning
will
about
get-
Baba Yaga. It was great.
750 XP. This has-
Okay.
Do we get anything for failing all of our investigation checks?
A character failed a significant roll that resulted in wasted resources and negative relationship with
Wasted
an
brain
NPC
power. I would consider
or
that.
some other
but-
major drawback.
I would say
If you wanna-
I would say hypothetically wasted resources in that, like, some of your time wasn't as fruitful. Sylvius's
Yeah, no.
investigation check.
Yeah, that's
what
true.
about Ceruleana getting off at us for marking arcane sigils
Oh.
and maps of
Well, yeah, but you guys did that successfully anyway.
not the first time.
I learned
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, but in the end, it worked out.
That is true.
This is true. Poor Whitney didn't learn anything today.
Yeah.
Oh, rip.
We count that as I feel like that's wasted resources.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like
Yeah.
wasted resources.
Okay.
Aren't you one of the most intelligent people in our like group now?
Oh no.
Oh.
250 XP.
Add 250.
To that total.
84362.
84362. Gotcha.
84362.
Level up is 85, right?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You're shitting me.
85,000.
We're gonna talk about adjusting the
Wait,
XP
did I?
for the next
Okay.
week.
Did I even do this right? Stop it.
Wait, adjust
That,
them?
that title, that total. What was the
Yeah.
last total everyone had? Stop it.
83.
84,112, and then
No.
84.
83 was the previous one, right?
Yeah, 83,362 for me.
Okay, thank you. Because something's wrong with
Oh
my
yeah, you should
character
have a flat extra 1,000 then.
Yeah.
So
84,
wait,
362.
what are we at now?
84,362.
362.
Okay.
We
Okay.
can do basic math, guys.
Yeah.
We are
83,362 was
calculator.
last week. Yeah.
No,
84,362
It's a new one.
is the new one.
Okay.
Okay.
We're
Gotcha.
literally 640 off
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we level up soon? Oh,
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
essentially.
For a
essentially.
level.
lovely.
We're gonna talk about just the XP system.
Watch
Yeah,
you guys
so
only
unless
get the
we do nothing next
500.
session.
I'm gonna go write my essay.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Exactly. Go write your essay, Evan.
Okay.
Screw essays. You don't need to do that.
We're gonna sign off. Bye-bye, stream. I realized to stop checking the comments, but whatever. It probably didn't matter. No one watches this anyway.